Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. Now Broly is one of the most famous and one of the most powerful beings in all of Dragon Ball. Now, some of you guys who live under a rock don't know who Broly is. Well, very simple. Broly is a legendary Super Saiyan who got really upset in Dragon Ball Z and kind of got mad over Goku crying when they were babies to try and kill him. Now, in Dragon Ball Super, this version of Broly was sent off to planet Vampa to where him and his father Paragus were kind of relaxing for about 40 plus years until Frieza found them and he fought Goku and Vegeta. Now, some people might not know, why is Broly so strong? Why is his potential so insane? Well, it's pretty simple, because he possesses the powers of a mutant. Now, these mutant Saiyans, they can transform into the legendary Super Saiyan. On top of that, Broly is also born a prodigy. He could learn things as things went on, especially in the heat of battle. So right in the heat of battle, Broly could gain stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, we have seen this before. A lot of Saiyans do have this, such as the likes of Vegeta. He learned to sense ki all on his own after losing to Goku. Now, also look at Goku. Even from the early events of Dragon Ball, Goku was actually able to learn the Kamehameha within a few seconds of seeing it. And they've also had times for their power boost in battle. Well, imagine that for Broly. He does the same thing, but with his mutated Saiyan DNA, it boosts that way higher, on top of the fact that Broly is a prodigy, so that boosted even more. So Broly went from barely being able to touch Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super to needing a Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta to take him down. Other than that, they were going to lose. And it's pretty similar for Dragon Ball Z. But as for this what if, I am going to focus on Goku and focus on Goku getting the powers of Broly from Dragon Ball Super, not Dragon Ball Z. This is Dragon Ball Super, it's a little bit different and it's officially canon. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers, and I want you guys to get this video to 300 likes. If this video reaches 300 likes, I will continue it. Now, let's get into the video. On planet Vegeta. Most of the events go the exact same, with Bardock and Gine struggling to get their child Goku away. Now, if you guys remember here, Broly is also in this What If series as well. He is still canon, and he is still in here. So as for Broly, King Vegeta did banish Broly and Paragus off the planet, as they did since the abnormal power level. Now, the scientist who did find Goku when he was born, they realized that he had a very similar power level to Broly, and as it would spike, being almost unreadable, but then it would go to a power level of 10,000. Now, of course, they were going to go tell King Vegeta, but sadly it was too late, as King Vegeta was actually killed by Frieza. Now, obviously, Prince Vegeta was off of the planet. Now, Bardock and Gine would use this time to get rid of the scientist and get their son to safety, no matter what. Now, Bardock did know of Goku's immense power. His scouter read that power level. And Bardock knows that his son is special. If his son, by the way, Bardock had a power level of 10 to 11,000 himself. So, Bardock would state, well, my son will be able to beat Frieza one day. I know it and I've seen it in my vision. He is going to do it. So, him and Gino would put Goku in the space pod, and Goku would be sent off to be sent to Earth. All that happens the exact same, and Bardock would go give his life to kind of bother Frieza for a little bit, and Planet Vegeta would be completely destroyed. All the Saiyans that are the original are still alive, such as Raditz, Nappa, Vegeta, and Goku and Broly. Now, Goku would then land on Earth, and of course, he would be met by Grandpa Gohan. Now, of course, Grandpa Gohan would call him Goku and take him in as his own child. Now, Goku would still have his fits of rage, and there would be certain times to where his power level would spike to stuff that Grandpa Gohan's never seen this kind of power before. He knows that this Saiyan child is special, even though he doesn't know he's a Saiyan. But he says that this child is very special, and he's going to help him all he can to gain his power. Now, Goku would still fall and hit his head. That still happens the same. Now, of course, this does change his mood. He's a happy-go-lucky child. Now, as we do know, sadly, when Goku got a little bit older, he did turn into a great ape and kill Grandpa Gohan. Now, for some of you people who might be kind of wondering, well, if he became a great ape on top of the high power level, wouldn't the planet be destroyed? Well, I'm just going to say that Grandpa Gohan was kind of able to distract him for most of the night, or anything plot-induced, the planet did not get destroyed. and Goku was a child. Now, Goku knows to not stare at the moon because whenever he does, he kind of blacks out and doesn't remember anything. Now, Bulma would still arrive. All the events would go the same here, just the fact that Goku is way stronger here. I do want to point out that even though it is true, Goku does have a power level of 10,000. That doesn't mean that he can just boost his power out at any given moment that he wants and use his power whenever he wants. I feel like when he does get upset, then he can use that power. But just as a calm base power, I'm going to give Goku power level of around 500, which is very lenient, and this is early Dragon Ball. Now the reason why is because, remember, Goku's not an adult, he's not at his full potential yet, and on top of that, anger induces the full power. As if you guys remember here, in the original, Broly's power level is insane. So whenever Broly gets upset, his power level rises. So that's what I kind of want to do here, because I don't want Goku just to one-shot every single thing in the entire universe, and then it's simple. But once when Goku starts getting older, especially when I'm training from Connie, he will be able to then control his power more, especially the ki control, which you learn from Master Popo. Now, most of the events would happen pretty much the exact same. Just aside the fact that Goku is far more powerful, he's pretty much the most powerful person in Dragon Ball currently. Well, other than, well, Raditz, but that's Dragon Ball Z. Now, most of the events would happen the same. Master Roshi would meet Goku. And now Master Roshi's training would boost Goku's power a lot. Now, if you guys remember here, a Saiyan needs to be in true heat of battle, but just Goku's training for the first time, like real heavy, hard training, would be interesting. Now, Master Roshi would have to get bigger weights for Goku and get other things to push him. Goku would definitely get a lot more powerful. Now, skipping past a lot of Dragon Ball, because it's pretty much the exact same, just Goku's way more powerful. He can pretty much one-shot any threat that's in his way. And if you guys remember, when Master Roshi did fight Goku during the tournament, Goku did turn into a great ape. Now, Master Roshi in the original did blow up the moon, and I do feel like he would do the same thing, just to clarify things as well. Now, if we do throw into the Kami part, now this is when Goku turns into Kami, and he turns into, and he says, hey, I want to get my training. Now, he did learn under Korin, and he did learn under Popo, and now Kami. Goku would get stronger and stronger. Now, we're going to cut to when Goku's a young man. Now, this is in the Piccolo Jr. saga. Now we're going to start slowing down a little bit, and we're going to start talking about the fun stuff. So, Goku did still meet Chi-Chi, and it would make sense, and kind of really make sense a lot, why it wouldn't change, that Goku would still marry Chi-Chi. That happens the exact same. Now, with Piccolo Jr., how powerful is Piccolo Jr.? Because, if you guys remember, I never touched upon King Piccolo. Now, if you guys remember, Demon King Piccolo killed Krillin, which is his best friend, and Goku almost snapped entirely. Now, Goku does not need the Ultra Divine Water to defeat him. Now, would Goku kill Piccolo, Demon King Piccolo? Absolutely. I'm just going to say that when he first met him and they first started fighting, Goku would easily blitz right through King Piccolo and just almost tear him in half entirely. Now, obviously, with his final breath, he would spit the egg out, and they would still use the Dragon Balls to wish everybody back. So just to kind of patch that up for Dragon Ball, that does happen the same, just this way easier for Goku. And everybody does kind of see Goku's raw power come out way more, especially when Krillin died. And also with the movie, if you guys remember, when Ader was actually killed by the Red Ribbon Army guy, Goku snapped and went crazy. So it would just be really cool to see Goku's power spike like that. Now, if we do cut in to Piccolo Jr., the fighting would happen the same, just as easier for Goku. Now, how powerful is Goku? We'll touch up on that in just 1 minute. Now, Goku would then fight Tien, and it was a pretty decent battle. But Goku was far more powerful than Tien, and even all of his tricks could not do nothing to Goku. Goku was far too fast. Goku never needed to take any weights off or anything. He was tens of times faster than he was in the original. So Tien sadly cannot defeat this version of Goku. Now, what about Piccolo? Well, as you guys know, Piccolo does push himself to try and keep up with his opponents. So, Piccolo, I do feel like he would have a power level, instead of around the 330-ish mark that he did, I would definitely bump it up to maybe about the 400s, maybe like 450, potentially 500, but that's really pushing it. So Piccolo is a lot more stronger than he was. Now, against Goku, sadly, it's not enough. Goku is far too powerful. Now, if we do go into the fact that would Goku spare him? Yes, because Goku knows that Piccolo dies, Kami dies as well. So he would spare Piccolo, and Piccolo would fly off. Now, 5 years would pass, and Gohan would be born. Now, real quick, just to clarify things, Gohan is not a legendary Super Saiyan. He's not the mutant genes, though he has Goku's potential. So this means that this Gohan has more potential than he did before. That which is just absolute insanity, especially when he gets into his adult age. How high his potential can go is just insanity. Now, to also cover something up as well, is the Red Ribbon Army still going? Yes. There will be the androids, Dr. Gero will still be there, so you're going to have to wait and see what I have in store for that. Now, Raditz would still arrive, Goku would be at the Kami house showing off Gohan and everybody else, and they're happy to see each other. Now, Raditz would then show up, and Raditz would very quickly find a pretty high power, as he would then click on his strategy and say, a power level of 1,000. That must be Kakarot. He flies off. Now, Piccolo would there be as well, and Piccolo has a power level, if I would say, around 600 to 700. So Piccolo is stronger as well. He's pushing himself way more to try and keep up with Goku. Now, Goku would then meet Raditz, and Raditz would explain who he is, and what he's doing, and everything else. He's furious that Goku's tail is gone, and everything else is gone, like he's furious. What's going on here? Now, he does try to get Goku to join them. Goku obviously refuses. All of that communication and talk happens the same. Now, Krillin, he would try to go up and, of course, tell Raditz to shoo off. Now, Raditz would then slap him with his tail and slap him right into the building. Now, Goku would then look at Raditz, and he was furious. Now, Goku here would then start to power up as Raditz's scouter started to go off. But Goku actually powered back down, and he said, let's go fight somewhere else, and not here, because Kami House is small. They would fly over to the islands that are nearby, and of course Piccolo would land as well, wanting to watch this battle. He knows to stay out of it, as he does sense both energies, and he knows that Goku's is stronger than Raditz. Now, Raditz of course taps the scouter as Goku begins to power up. Now, Raditz says, your power level is only 1,000. It's not going to beat mine, unfortunately, brother. Now, Goku would then smirk and say, oh, I'm holding back a lot, and Goku would begin powering up. And powering up. And powering up more. Raditz's scouter would be shocked as he's like, a power level of over 20,000! And it would explode. His scouter would explode because it's too high, and of course, Vegeta and Nappa have communications on. They heard that. Now, they would be kind of surprised. They would communicate with each other saying, a Saiyan having a power level of 20,000. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, Nappa would laugh and say, oh, that's complete BS. Raditz is just maybe thinking wrong or something. Maybe he said 2,000. But Vegeta still piqued his interest. So Vegeta definitely wants to go check this out. So they would actually start to steer their Saiyan space pods towards Earth. Now, what's Raditz going to do against Goku? Now, Raditz is very prideful. Now, Raditz thinks that his scouter is completely just busted and it's wrong. Well, Goku doesn't really have much of mercy for Raditz because of the fact that he attacked his friends and he was threatening them. Now, they would begin their battle. Now, Goku's far superior to Raditz here. Raditz, he has no chance to beat Goku. So Goku would easily block his attacks and tell Raditz, are you finished yet? Because I don't want to kill you. You're not completely, I don't want to kill anybody. But I cannot let you harm my planet and destroy it. So he gives Raditz the chance. He tells Raditz to leave the Earth and never return. If you don't, I'm going to have to destroy you. Now, Raditz was exhausted and pretty beat up. His armor was cracked. I mean, he knows he can't beat Goku. But he does have one idea. Now, if you guys know, this is just for what it purposes. Be quiet in the comments, please. Raditz does have one last shot. Now, Raditz would then laugh and state, but you haven't even seen my full power, brother. Now, Goku would kind of raise his eyebrow and say, well, why didn't you use it earlier? And Goku would kind of get a little bit excited. If Raditz has something, Goku wants to see it. And he's like, what do you got? Now, Raditz would, of course, form a little white ball in his hand. This will weaken him a little bit, but The power will definitely help him out. Now, he would throw it, and it was a fake moon. Now, if you guys know, the Great Ape is a 10 times multiplier, as everybody knows. Now, Raditz having a power level 1,500, if he did use the fake moon, let's just say that he has a power level maybe 1,300 now, obviously times 10. Raditz has a power level of 13,000 in his Great Ape state. Now, Piccolo was actually kind of shocked to see a massive monkey, and everybody else was shocked too to see a Great Ape before. They know that, hey, that's what Goku was before. That guy, he can do it too. Now, if you guys know, Goku's tail was cut off, so Goku is not affected by it. But Goku would then actually kind of smile a little bit. He's actually gotten a lot stronger. This will actually be fun. You guys remember, Goku's kind of bored. He hasn't had a real fight in a little while. Now, Goku does have a max power level of 20,000, but 13,000 is a little bit close enough to be kind of a decent fight. Now, Goku would then begin his battle with this giant Great Ape, Raditz. Goku would have his fun, maybe even getting a little scuffle marks on him, maybe a little bit of scratches, but nothing really else, because, I mean, he is still stronger. I mean, he is still, you know, you could roughly say 7,000 more power level. He has 7,000 plus more power level. And in early Dragon Ball Z, that's like a big thing. Even if you have like 1,000 power level more than the guy, you're like tossing him around. So it's, you know, so Goku is kind of, he can take down Raditz. But now Goku would then obviously beat down Raditz and overpower him, even in the Great Ape state. Now he's running out of options. Goku would then slice his tail off, making Raditz shrink back down into his base form, completely gassed out and completely defeated. Now what's Raditz going to do? There's nothing he can do. He lost. And he lost his tail, the root of his power. So he would then call his spaceship, which would then arrive, and Goku would allow him to crawl back in, and Raditz would then start coughing a bit of blood, and he would laugh at him, telling him, "You made a mistake, allowing me to live. There are Saiyans far more powerful than even I was in my Great Ape state that will absolutely destroy you, Kakarot." And then Raditz would then laugh and then leave. Goku actually got really excited for this. So then Goku would run over to Kami's lookout, and he would talk to Kami saying, hey, if these guys are even stronger than his brother, I definitely got to get training hard. So Kami does have one being that he knows is a teacher that Goku can run off and go find. And his name is King Kai. Now that is it for this one. If you guys, thank you all for watching. Remember, if we get 300 plus likes on this video, and you also subscribe, we're getting close to the 10K mark. Come on, guys, we're getting close. Come on. I will then do the next part of this series. I hope you guys do enjoy it. I did kind of gloss over the Dragon Ball arc just because most of it would happen the same, just that Goku's just stronger. But now most of the fun stuff is definitely going to happen with the Saiyan Saga and the Frieza Saga and so on. I am very excited to dive into Goku and what he would do with his power and the struggles that he's going to have to go through, especially being pushed past his limit, what he's going to have to handle being the legendary Super Saiyan. We last kicked off with Goku speaking to Kami. Now, if you guys remember, Kami does know where King Kai is, but obviously you got to go to the other world first. Now, Kami would then explain to Goku who this teacher is. He doesn't know a lot about him, but he knows that he is in the other world. It's in the afterlife where the dead go. Now, Goku says, well, how am I going to get there? Do I have to, like, die or something to go there? Kami quickly reassures him that he can go there, but he can only reach the entranceway to where the souls go. That's as far as he can go. Other than that, you're on your own. Well, they would do so, and Goku would then meet King Yama, and King Yama would be kind of confused. What is a living being doing here? That doesn't make no sense. Now, King Yama would actually check out Goku's resume, as King Yama can look at everybody's sins and what they've done, whether they're good or bad, and he says, my, you were pure of heart, and you're a great warrior. You saved the planet many times. Now, Goku would state that he's actually looking for King Kai so he can grow stronger, as there's some evil Saiyans that are going to arrive on the Earth, and he needs to get as strong as possible, and he'll really appreciate it. Now, King Yama would think, and he says, that Vegeta and Nappa, they're a nasty bunch. I would be really happy if you did something about those guys. They're causing so many souls to go to my thing and make me busy. Well, King Yama would then show Goku the way. Now, as you guys know, Snake Way is very long. It is true that Goku will get there a lot faster than before. Goku cannot fly yet, so Goku has to run. Luckily, he has a power of like 20,000. He can get there a lot faster than the original. So it took Goku about half of the year almost to reach King Kai, because the Saiyans had pretty much a year to arrive. Goku got there and he only had about six or so months of training. Well, with Goku being multiple times stronger, instead of 6 months of just running nonstop or whatever he did, let's just say that it actually takes him about a week to run across Snake Way, considering the power level that he has and the fact that, he can boost his power level and run really fast. So now as for Gohan, Piccolo, obviously still alive, would obviously know that the Saiyans are coming back and they're even stronger. Well, then this would be interesting, but he knows of his son Gohan. Now Gohan here now Piccolo states that if Gohan has the potential of his father, then he is definitely needed to take down these Saiyans. So of course Piccolo would then kidnap Gohan, all that happens the same, and the training would go the exact same. Just the fact that Gohan has some pretty high growth. Now, especially when Gohan gets upset, his anger boosts his power level far more than the original, and this would kind of shock Piccolo. Now, Gohan would still turn into a great ape and kind of blow things up, but luckily, Piccolo can just use his Ki Beam and destroy the moon like he did within a couple seconds, and Gohan would revert back. Now, we do know about the official power levels, but we'll get onto that once when all the training is done, the power levels of everybody else. Now, most of the training would go the same between Gohan and Piccolo. They would start to become friends, as you guys all know. Now, here's a good question. How high is Gohan's potential compared to the original Gohan? Well, if you guys remember, that Gohan is kind of busted in the original Dragon Ball. Now, is it true that, yes, it per se that the anger just kind of helped and everything? Yes. But remember that Goku is way higher potential now. He's a legendary Saiyan. Gohan is not a legendary Super Saiyan himself. He's just a half Saiyan. But that doesn't mean that he does not have the prodigy potential that his father does, on top of the potential he already has. So, yeah, we definitely can just throw it in there. So, going into Gohan and Piccolo and all that, the training would go the same. Now, sooner or later, also the Z Fighters, the normal humans, Tien, Krillin, and all of them, would be training on Kami's Lookout the exact same. Now, as we are looking towards, what about when Goku meets King Kai? That would be a pretty interesting meeting. Now, King Kai would kind of know that he's kind of different than before, if you guys notice that. Now, King Kai would notice that Goku has an insanely strong power level. And King Kai would actually challenge Goku to a fight. Now, the gravity, by the way, Goku would be struggling with the gravity, no matter what power level. Now, if you guys remember, in the Cell Saga, Gohan, who has a way stronger than this version of Goku, he was in the millions, he struggled in 10 times gravity. It's something that you have to get used to over time. Goku even stated that. So Goku, even with the high power level, he would have a trouble with the 10 times gravity, like the original. Now, he would take his weights off, and he would be able to move a lot better. Also, considering the fact that he's a prodigy, he can get and learn how to control the gravity a lot better than the likes of his original self. Now, King Kai does state that he does have a lot of power welling up inside of him. Special rage that is very uncontrollable. Now, King Kai states that I'm going to try and help you learn that. And he also states that I can teach you the Spirit Bomb and the Kaioken. Now, King Kai states, but the power that is within you might be more than enough than what Kaioken can do for you, because Kaioken is very destructive. Now, King Kai would then work with Goku for all these months, and Goku would start to tap into this power. Now, King Kai would use Goku's anger to try and help him tap into this rage that would make his eyes go yellow, and his hair would spike up a little bit. Now, King Kai was kind of surprised at the power, but King Kai does break down that Goku's natural, he's not a normal Saiyan. He has the ability to, even without a tail, to use the power of the Great Ape, but keep his size and agility and more. It's very impressive. Now, Goku does learn the Kaioken as that, and now Goku briefly went to the Ikari state. It's very uncontrollable. He just feels pure bubbling rage. That's something he needs to work on for a while to learn to master that form. But Kaioken's a pretty decent one. Not to mention, with Goku's higher power level and more prodigy and more durability, he's actually able to master Kaioken a lot better. So instead of like in the original where times 3 and well times 4 in a burst nearly killed him, Goku can go to times 3 and times 4 without much of an issue. Now Goku can probably at maximum go up to maybe Kaioken times maybe 10, but that's definitely pushing it. He'll risk killing himself at that point. But the other Kaioken he can easily go up to. Now Goku did learn the Spirit Bomb, he did learn other things from King Kai, the fighting style and everything else, as we all know. Now, once when Nappa and Vegeta arrive, the Z Fighters arrive. So, as you guys know, they would obviously bring out the Cybermen, and the original Cybermen had power level 1200. Nappa, I would probably say at full power, will probably be between, 5 to 7,000 like the original. Vegeta's obviously still 18,000. Now obviously Gohan, now remember this is buffed up Gohan. Now Gohan in the original was stated to have a power level around 1,000 something. Now obviously when he was in Rage it was like 2 to 3,000. Well, considering the fact that Gohan here is a prodigy now, he's way more potential than before, I would say that his calm power level is probably around 3,000. And when he's really pissed off, his anger jumps up to 6,000 to 7,000. Which, it's not a massive boost, as what you guys are thinking, but it actually is. Gohan's almost 2 times stronger than the original. Especially with the Rage, he's even stronger than that. So, it's not, like, in terms of multipliers, that's pretty strong. Being 2 times strong. That's almost like you're in Super Saiyan, and you go Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan 2 is a powerful transformation, but realistically, it's only double that of Super Saiyan 1. It's only 2 times. So you guys see where I'm coming from? Now, obviously, Krillin has the same power level, around 1,700, 1,800. Yamcha's, I think it was 1,400. Tien was the strongest human. He was around 1,008. And Chaozu's non-existent. He, I think, had about 1,000. Now, obviously, Piccolo. Now, with Piccolo having a stronger advocate, aka Gohan. Now, with Gohan being stronger, Piccolo does know he has to keep up and try and get stronger. So, I know that Piccolo had a power level of roughly around 3,500 to around 4,000, roughly. Now, with Piccolo training harder and the fact that he is stronger than the original before he even trained, I'm going to say that he is definitely nearing Nappa's level. I would definitely say that he's probably around 6,500. So he's nearing about 2 times stronger than the original. So actually, Piccolo and Nappa would actually have a really, really good battle. Piccolo is only like 1,000 less than Nappa, but as you guys know, in Dragon Ball, that does mean a lot. As Nappa would then throw his full power attack at Gohan. Gohan wouldn't know what to do. Piccolo would jump in the way and still sacrifice his life for Gohan, and it would kill Piccolo. Now the Cybermen, even though the Earthlings are pretty much the same strength, you could say a little bit stronger, but just leave it as the same. Now the Cybermen would still kill Yamcha, and obviously Tien would get his hand cut off. He would still basically be murdered by Nappa, and Chaozu would still try to risk his life and blow himself up to kill him. Now, as you guys know, this is when Goku would then arrive, and he was furious. Goku's more susceptible to anger in this What If because he's a legendary Saiyan. His anger basically bubbles more than anything else. So, how powerful is Goku? Well, if you want to go off of realism, Goku did get around 33 times stronger. I'm just kidding. Now, if you do base it off of realism, like how strong did Goku get after King Kai? Well, it was stated that if Goku did have a power level around like 430 or so, mixing with his power level of 8,000, he definitely got about, I think it was around 18 times stronger. So, 18 times 20, Goku would have a power level of 360,000, which is absolute insanity, but realistic. So why can't we say that it's the same for Goku here? And that's exactly what I'm saying. This version of Goku does have a power level of nearly 400,000. And that's not far-fetched considering that he is Broly. Some of you guys might be thinking that it should be higher, but I don't want to make Goku so overpowered that he just one-shots everything in the entire What If. But Goku having a power level of almost 400,000 is astronomical. Not to mention considering the fact that Goku here does have Kaioken And if push comes to shove, he can go into his Akari state and his power level will rise non-stop. Goku's very powerful here. Like, if the likes of like Frieza fought Goku right now in his final form, sooner or later Goku could have the potential, I wouldn't say in his Akari form, but definitely get close to harming Frieza, which is a very high feat since Frieza's full power is 120 million. Now, Goku would then be furious, as he would actually begin to power up. His power level would instantly shatter Nappa and Vegeta's Scouter without much of an issue. Now, Nappa state, Vegeta, how strong was he? Vegeta would be fuming, saying that his power level was far above 30,000. Now, Nappa would think that's utter BS, but now Vegeta doesn't have much of a choice. He would then fly in and begin fighting Son Goku. Goku here is furious that his friends were all killed. So he would very quickly embarrass Vegeta and slap him around like a fly. Vegeta can't do nothing against him. Even a full power Gallic gun trying to destroy the planet, Goku would then slap it away. Now Goku would tell him that you're nothing compared to what I am. I am far superior to you, and well, pretty much you're gonna die, because they killed all of his friends. Now, Nappa would then try to run off and go attack Goku's friends. Goku does not need Kaioken easily. He easily broke Nappa's back and then throws him to the ground. Vegeta would then toss Nappa in the air and kill him the exact same way. Now, would Goku spare Vegeta? Yes, but the fight's not over yet, as Vegeta has his final straw. He would then use a fake moon to then throw it in the air and turn himself to a great ape. This would get Goku a little bit excited, as Goku knows that Nappa did it before, and Raditz has used it before, and he has gotten far stronger. So, Goku sees that Vegeta's power level is around 160,000, as his original power level is 16,000. Now, the fight would begin. Well, Goku easily wins, as Goku, not to mention, had a way higher power level. He was actually way faster than Vegeta. So Vegeta had no chance. Goku would cut off his tail the exact same way, and Vegeta would then be on the floor defeated. Goku would actually spare him. Why? Because Goku sees that Vegeta is really powerful, and he just wouldn't do it. You know how Goku is with making villains survive. Maybe he can become a good guy one day. I don't know. And also, we love Vegeta. We need to keep him in the what if. So yes, Vegeta would still be kept alive. He would get into his spaceship and tell him he made a mistake, saving me, and he would then fly off. Now, Goku was actually perfectly fine. He had no battle damage on him or nothing. I mean, the max you could see is maybe some torn outfit, but that's just from them attacking him and stuff like that, or a ki beam. Other than that, Goku's perfectly fine. Now, he would obviously get sensu beams, which he did have, and he would bring them to his friends and heal them all up. Now, they wouldn't really know what to do here, but luckily Kami, with the help of Popo, would tell them about Planet Namek. Now, Planet Namek here is a planet that it holds the Dragon Balls, and they can go over there and use the said Dragon Balls to basically wish back their friends. Goku thinks that that's the best idea they can do, so let's get going. Now, Goku would actually arrive with them this time, and go with them instead of having to wait like a week, because Goku's perfectly fine. He's not hurt at all. Now, he was able to get a couple sensu beans from Korin, and along the way, remember, there's not really a gravity room, if you guys remember, so Goku has not done gravity training. The gravity room is not in the first one. It's in the second ship that Goku went by himself to where he did gravity training. But obviously, that doesn't matter. Goku would still keep on training, doing mental training alongside with Krillin and Gohan. So this would help him keep his power boosted up a little bit. As then, a couple of days would pass, up to a week, and they would soon arrive on Planet Namek. Now, once they arrive on Namek, a lot of the events that's been transpiring up happens the same, but Goku knows that, hey, there's a lot of powers nearby, and then he would also sense Frieza. Now, Krillin and Gohan would go off on their own to go find the Dragon Balls and help out any Nameks. Goku's going to go out on his own, as he does sense that Vegeta is nearby, fighting somebody. Now, he does see that Vegeta's fighting this creature, aka Zarbon. Now, Goku would then appear, and Vegeta would then notice him, and he would be shocked at how he arrived here. Zarbon would state, "Who was that?" And Zarbon would try to attack Goku, but Goku would then easily kill Zarbon. Now, Doria's already been dead. Kui's already been dead, so they're already gone. Now, Vegeta would then be kind of confused why he's here. And Goku states, "I'm here to collect the Dragon Balls so I can wish for my friends back that you basically murdered." Now, Goku states that, look, I'm not here to fight you, Vegeta. I'm not here to kill you or nothing like that. We're getting the Dragon Balls. We're wishing them. And I want you to hop off this planet as well because you have killed innocents here. Now, Vegeta is not dumb. He can't beat Goku right now, and he knows that. Even though he is... By the way, Vegeta's a lot stronger. In the original, Vegeta had a power level of around 24,000 after the beatdown from Goku. Especially since he got a beatdown from this version of Goku, he would probably have a power level of around 30,000. Which is not too far-fetched considering the ass-whooping that he got from Goku, nearly dying. And you know how a Saiyan works when they get a Zenkai. They try to surpass the person before. Now, since Frieza learned that Zarbon, Dodoria, Kui are gone, he will contact the Ginyu Force, who would arrive shortly. Now, once when the Ginyu Force does arrive, Goku would then fly off to go fight the Ginyu Force himself. Now, Vegeta would then arrive too, as he wants to help out the battle. Now, Vegeta here, he was kind of beat up from Zarbon's battle. Vegeta does state that he does want to fight Raccoon by himself, which Goku respects that as a Saiyan. Vegeta begins his battle. He has a power around 30,000 or so. So the fight would be pretty much the same as before. Vegeta would then get easily slapped around. And then Goku would give him a Senzu Bean, making Vegeta even stronger, boosting his power level probably... I would comfortably say probably up to potentially 60,000, maybe. Which is like a 2 times boost, and it's not crazy far-fetched, considering that it's Vegeta. Now, Goku would actually handle Jason Birder, as Captain Ginyu did bring the other Dragon Balls back to Frieza. Now, once when this happens, though, Captain Ginyu would then come back. And he would begin his battle with Goku. Now, Captain Ginyu would actually try the Change Now technique, but this version of Goku is far faster and more alert. So Goku would be able to dodge the attack and be able to punch through Captain Ginyu, killing him. Now, Vegeta knows he has to kind of be on his good side so he can use the Dragon Balls. Now, Goku would actually fly off to go meet Elder Guru. Now, Elder Guru would actually meet with Goku, and he senses his pure heart and that he's a good person. Now, Elder Guru reads his mind, and Elder Guru also states that I can unlock your potential, so then you can go fight that monster Frieza. Now, Goku thinks that, well, you're kind of like giving me power, aren't you? I don't really want that. But Elder Guru states, no, this is your power. It's just sealed away inside of you. I'm just releasing power that's already there. And Goku's like, oh, okay. So he would do so. And my God, would Goku get stronger. Having a power level of, he was 360, probably after training, you can say 400. After Elder Guru unlocked his potential, some of it, Goku would have a power level of nearly 1,000,000. And that's not far-fetching Goku's power, considering the fact that his potential is absolutely insanity. Now, they would go on to Frieza's ship, as Nail was fighting Frieza, the exact same happens, and the first thing that they would wish for is for Piccolo to be brought back and brought to Namek. Now, they would wish for all their friends back who were killed, and there was one wish left. But sadly, the Dragon Balls turned to stone as Elder Guru has passed away. Now then, they look up, as who do they see? They see Frieza, who was absolutely furious that his Dragon Balls were taken from him. Now the real battle for the universe was going to begin. What's going on, you guys? Major Dragon here, and today is a very special day. I want to thank you guys for 10,000 subscribers. It means the world to me. I really do appreciate that what all you guys have done, and also to the members who also have joined the memberships as well. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. I never thought it was going to be possible to be able to reach this, but I had a feeling because you guys have blown me away every single time with the 100 subscribers. I never thought it could get bigger. With 1,000 subscribers, I never thought it could get bigger. Then now 10,000, it means the world to me. Now, because we have reached 10,000 subscribers, I am going to make a very special video. What if Major Dragon was in Dragon Ball? And this will be a one-time video special, as it's only a limited special. Now, another thing. We now have a new subscriber goal. And knowing you guys, we can reach it. Because without you guys, the channel would be nothing. You guys have changed my life. And I know it's corny, a lot of YouTubers say that, but you guys truly have. And our community is special. I wanted to make a community for everybody. You guys can, or anybody who can join in, who loves anime, who can talk to other people, make new friends, talk to people. and can connect with me, and we have such a strong bond, and I'm so thankful for all you guys. Now, I don't want to drag this on for so long. I'll say more in the 10,000 subscriber video. Thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers. We now have a new saying. Instead of, let's get to 10,000 subscribers, no. It's, let's get to 20,000 subscribers. I know we can do it. And you know what? If everybody who is watching this video right now, if you just press the subscribe button, we will get there in no time. Now, if this video gets 400 likes, I will continue this to the next part. So I want everybody, press the subscribe button. You are helping out the entire community, and come join us. I want everybody to press like on this video so I can continue it. And if you want to share your thoughts or talk to people, post your comments down below. Say hey, I'll even message you back. So anyway, thank you guys so much. It means the world to me. I hope y'all enjoy the video. Now, if this video reaches 400 likes, I shall continue it to the next series. This is What If Goku Was the Legendary Super Saiyan. 400 likes, I'm counting on y'all. Make sure to post the notification bell, hit the comments down below, and subscribe. We need to reach 20,000 subscribers. Now, just to quickly recap, Goku has recently fought Nappa and Vegeta, and, well, Nappa's gone, Vegeta was still able to survive, and now everybody is on Namek. Since Goku was not injured, he was able to join them. That also means no gravity training for Goku. Now, Goku would actually handle pretty much a lot of Frieza's goons. Now, Vegeta would still go on his little mini arc, his tries to the Dragon Balls, all that happens the same. Now, Goku has just finished fighting Captain Ginyu, and the Ginyu Force defeating them alongside with the help of Vegeta. Now, he would actually meet Elder Guru, and he would get his potential unlocked. Now, this would give Goku a max power level currently of 1 million. Goku has a max power level of 1 million currently after the potential unlock with Elder Guru. Now, Frieza has already killed Nail, and Elder Guru has passed. They did wish for Piccolo to show up on the planet, and they did wish for him to be alive. Now, they do have one wish left, and that is obviously for them to wish back using the Earth's Dragon Balls since Piccolo's alive. Now, to then instantly cut into it, Frieza still does show up, and he was furious that the Dragon Balls were taken from him. Now, to actually cut to Piccolo and Nail, Piccolo would still find him, and they would still do fusion, fusing to become one being. Piccolo's power level is actually higher than the original. If you guys remember, Piccolo had a max power level of around 1,500 at max. Now, since Piccolo is far stronger than he was in the original, I would roughly put him at a power level of roughly probably around 2,500,000, or you could equally just say 3 million, which is not too far-fetched considering that Piccolo has been pushing himself harder, and he was a way higher power level than before. So he has a max power level of 3 million, which is very impressive. Now, back onto the main fight, Vegeta would want to go up first. Now, as you know, Vegeta did get a decent Zenkai, which would put Vegeta currently at pretty much the same level. It's the same exact level as before, maybe around the 400,000 to 500,000, pretty close to Frieza's first level. They would have their little hand lock, and it would kind of shock Frieza at his power level, and then it would, Scatter would explode. Frieza would then showcase his second form. It would absolutely terrify everybody. Now, luckily, this is when Goku would begin to have his battle with Frieza. Goku here, actually knowing Kaioken, he will be ecstatic to fight Frieza. And here's why. Goku has been, not really having an amazing battle. He's not had a true battle like how he would against this version of Frieza. He was amazed. Frieza was definitely the strongest guy in the universe for a reason. He was terrifyingly strong. Now, Piccolo would obviously get there faster than before, and Goku would be astounded by Piccolo's power. How did he get so strong? Same with Vegeta. Now, Piccolo would actually stand back, as Piccolo as a warrior knows not to interfere with Goku's battle. Now, Goku states, I got plenty more in the tank, let me add him for a little bit. Piccolo understands completely. Now, Goku would then use Kaioken times 2, and that would boost his power level up to, 2 million. And now, during this battle, Goku would begin to overpower Frieza, having a higher power level. Now, Frieza would then bust into his third form. It would not be enough, unfortunately, as Goku and Kaioken times 2 is actually relatively comfortable in this power. Now, Frieza would then go into his final form. Goku was astounded by his power. Now this is when Piccolo actually kind of wants to take a crack at Frieza, as they don't know how strong he is, never judge a book by its cover, but they know that he's monstrously more powerful. Frieza's pretty annoyed, but he's not comfortable in his power. He would then aim up his finger, and he would, well, kind of shoot Goku right through the chest, and it would knock Goku down. Now the reason for this is because Goku kind of dropped his guard as he kind of was looking at Piccolo. This is very Goku-like, and I feel like that would not really change. Goku has always dropped his guard at some of the worst moments, and that has been consistent in a lot of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super. Whis has even stated it himself. Now once that Goku is down, luckily Gohan and Krillin would kind of drag Goku away because Piccolo would begin his fight. Now actually, a lot of the fighting would be kind of like the original Goku versus Frieza, but just swap it out with Piccolo. Piccolo having the same exact power as Goku, he would actually handle very well. Not to mention, Piccolo is a genius level fighter, even higher than Goku. And Goku even states that no one knows Ki, not to mention, no one knows tactical fighting better than Piccolo. So Piccolo actually has some abilities that he can actually use against Frieza. That would be kind of interesting, especially that he can elongate his arms, he can go giant mode, and he can also heal certain injuries. So Piccolo is actually very powerful, and he would do fairly well against Frieza. Now, once when Frieza starts showing up more of his power, he would tell that Piccolo is definitely the strongest Namekian that he's ever seen, and this is an honor for Piccolo to see this. Now, Goku is being healed by Dende, and if you guys know, when Goku starts to fight somebody, since he's a mutant Saiyan, his power level is going to skyrocket very shortly. Now, Vegeta was furious. Now, as you all may know, Vegeta did ask himself to be kind of Ki Blast in the chest to get a Zenkai, but Vegeta wouldn't do it this time, since there's no point. Goku and Piccolo are strong enough. The only reason why he did it is so he can try and fight Frieza for the time being, as that was in the original, because Goku was still injured. But Goku's fine here. So Vegeta would never ask that, and Dende would still fight it. Now, Piccolo is having a hard time now, as Frieza would then showcase half of his full power, or 50%, and this would overpower Piccolo, as even though Piccolo is very strong, he doesn't even have Kaioken on top of that, which doesn't make no sense to me why Piccolo never learned Kaioken on King Kai's planet. I guess maybe he didn't, they only had a couple weeks, so I guess you could say he never had enough time to learn it. But man, Piccolo Kaioken would be awesome. Maybe he can learn that later on. But anyway, Goku would then obviously go back in and tag in. Now, how strong is Goku? Well, he did almost die to Frieza's blast going right through his chest, so he's kind of strong, not to mention he's a prodigy now. Goku's base power level, after a major Zenkai, a near-death Zenkai really, would definitely bump him from 1 million to, I would comfortably say, around 6 million. Now, Goku would begin his fight with Frieza, and Goku would even max it out. As remember, the fight would pretty much go relatively the same. With Goku being 2 times stronger, it would be a pretty decent fight, but Frieza's getting annoyed. But 50% is plenty enough to handle Goku, all up until Goku would then use Kaioken times 20, and this would actually stun Frieza. Now Goku would then fire the Kamehameha on top of that, and Frieza would have to use 80% of his power to then overpower Goku's attack. Now Frieza was actually pretty injured by it, but he was more furious than anything. Goku was starting to get a little bit gassed out, but then something started happening. Goku's rage. Now, if you guys remember, Goku has been training for all of his life to control that same primal rage that is within his body. But when he's meeting a foe like this, his anger starts getting the better of him. And that is exactly what happens. Now, Goku's anger and his power level is starting to rise and continue to rise as he's fighting Frieza. A bit more primal-like, as he would then start screaming and start attacking Frieza, shooting a massive green blast out of his mouth. Now Frieza here, by the way, Goku's power level is rising rapidly against Frieza's own power level. Very similar to how Broly works. And very quickly he starts to catch up to Frieza. Goku's power level will continue to rise and rise and rise. Goku's power level going from 6 million would start jumping up to 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, 50 million. It continues to rise and rise and rise, and Frieza's starting to get a little bit scared. What is this Saiyan? How is he so powerful? Now, Goku's power level will stop at around 60 to 70 million, and he'll be almost dead even with Frieza. Now, Frieza would then charge up a full power Death Ball, and he would catch Goku off guard by throwing it right at him. Now it would hit Goku, blasting him into the water, as then Frieza would then charge up a massive ki ball attack and throw it right towards Goku. Now this attack would also hit Namek as well, and it would badly damage Namek's core. Now everybody was shocked and think that Goku died. Oh no, he did not. Goku would then charge a massive green aura that would swirl around his body, and Goku would be screaming. Goku lost himself in his rage. Goku would then rise up as he was bulkier. Goku looked bigger. The top of his G-shirt was almost completely ripped off, and Goku looks bigger. Goku looked almost a foot taller, being Goku's around 5'10", so put it to around 6'10". Not to mention his muscles are bulging out, he's a lot bigger, and his eyes were yellow, his hair was sticking up. Goku here was now in his Akari state. Now, real quick, having a power level of 70 million times 10 is 700 million. Okay? That's almost 7 times stronger than Goku was in the original as a Super Saiyan. That's almost 7 times stronger than full power Frieza. Now Frieza would be terrified as Goku would put the beat down on Frieza. I mean, demolishing him like he was nothing. Now during this time as well, Frieza would then have no choice but to try and go full power. And I do feel like Frieza being... I know it took Frieza forever to go full power, but let's just say in this what if that he can. Now Frieza would go full power, but that was nothing against Goku. Goku's power level kept rising. In this Akari state, it kept going up. Instead of 700 million, it was now 1 billion. It kept rising. Frieza had no chance here. Goku would easily tear apart Frieza like he was nothing, leaving Frieza in pieces. Now Goku was so fueled with rage that he would begin attacking everything around him and in his way. Now obviously, Piccolo would try and stop Goku, but Goku would then slap him away like he was nothing, and they would begin their fight. Now Piccolo was doing everything he could to try and avoid Goku, but Goku was too powerful. What were they going to do? Now Krillin would then do a solar flare, and they can try and escape the planet. Now Vegeta's getting the heck out of there. He ain't having none of that. Same with Piccolo. What's Piccolo going to do? Krillin tells Gohan that, Gohan, your father's lost. He's lost his mind. And the planet was going to blow up as the sky was turning red and volcanoes were exploding. Now Bulma as well was screaming as everything was going crazy all around her. She was in the ship, as then very quickly Piccolo and Vegeta busted into the ship and was telling Vegeta was like, "Woman, get the ship ready now!" Because the planet was going to blow up. And Krillin was there too, but Gohan never left. Gohan would then yell, saying, "Daddy, you gotta stop. Dad, relax." And Goku would almost attack Gohan, but he would stop himself. Seeing his son, Goku would then hold his head as he would then shrink and calm down. As he looked around, he was confused, didn't know where he was at. Goku would then state, what happened? Is Frieza gone? And then Gohan would hug his father, tears going down his face as he was so happy to see that his father was okay. And Goku knew that Frieza was gone. He couldn't sense his power. So then Goku says, the planet's about to blow, we need to go fast. So Goku would then haul ass back to the ship, full speed, holding Gohan. They would fly right in and tell Bulma to punch it now. At full speed, the ship would fly off, and then, well, the ship would fly off, and they would barely escape Namek's destruction. Now, I know what you guys are thinking here, but wait a minute. What about the Namekians? The Namekians are gone. Well, as you guys know, sadly, luckily Dende, by the way, Dende is still alive. Well, Earth's Dragon Balls only has one wish. They use the Dragon Balls to wish Piccolo back and wish him to the planet. But unfortunately, they were not able to use the final wish to wish for all the Namekians to be brought back, and they didn't use Earth's Dragon Balls to wish everybody, on planet Namek other than Goku and Frieza back to Earth. So sadly, pretty much all the Namekians other than Piccolo and Dende, and Nail if you count, are gone. Dende will be distraught that his whole planet is gone. It's just destroyed. But Piccolo reassures him, we can just use the Dragon Balls, and within a few years' time, within 2 to 3 years' time, we can wish all the Namekians back, and we can wish the planet back. Do not worry. Now, once when they arrived back, everybody was so happy to see each other. Peace was finally brought. Now, the same thing would go for Vegeta. He would go see Bulma, live with Bulma. They would still have their thing and fall in love with each other. Now, as for pretty much Goku would be the same. Now, Goku knows the power that he felt within him. He was able to control this wild state. But when he was in this form, his power level kept rising to levels that he's never even thought was possible. So Goku's going to start meditating to try and learn this power and control it. He can harness the power of a great ape. That is what Vegeta's philosophy was. And Vegeta does think that Goku was actually a Super Saiyan. And obviously Vegeta is furious that Goku's a Super Saiyan and not him. But now, as for Gohan, Chi-Chi would still make Gohan do studying. But at the same time, since Goku's not traveling, there's no instant transmission. Because Goku never went to Yardrat, so that's a big loss. No instant transmission, and Goku was not gone for over a year or two. So he would be with Gohan, and I do feel like Goku would persuade Chi-Chi saying, look, our son Gohan is incredibly strong. How about he can do his studies, but he can also train a little bit? I feel like Chi-Chi would then understand that, as Gohan does want to do studying stuff, but he wouldn't mind training with his dad. And not to mention too, if Gohan's this busted potentially with the potential that Goku has, Gohan can just do light training here and there, and he'll get a lot stronger. So remember to keep that up too. Even Gohan in Super, he was able to do light training here and there, and he would never get rusty, which is insanity. But if he stops training, he gets very weak. So Gohan would do some light sparring sessions with his father. All that would happen the same. Now, Vegeta would obviously have the gravity room, and he would push himself to new limits to try and reach Goku's level, so he can become the true Super Saiyan. All that happens the exact same. Now, there is no Yardrat. There's nothing crazy that happens like that. Now, Mecha Frieza is obviously not a thing. Frieza's in pieces. He's completely dead, so he's not alive. There's no Mecha Frieza. King Cold would find his body parts kind of laying around in space, but what could he do with them? Frieza was, dead. They didn't have the technology they did in Super to bring back Frieza. So sadly, King Cold would just have to bury Frieza or do whatever they do in their own species with his body. Now, King Cold, would he go to Earth? No. Because it was Frieza's thing to go to Earth. King Cold had no interest in going. He was intrigued at a Saiyan. He did want to see what a Super Saiyan was. But considering the fact that Frieza was killed and the planet was destroyed, yeah, he doesn't want to go there and get himself killed. He's way too prideful. As he stay on his side of the universe, that Saiyan can stay on Earth. He does not care about him. Now here's the fun part. Trunks would still show up, very similar, and he would look around, and he would still notice that Mecha Frieza's not there, just like the original, and he's like, okay. Just due to the fact that in the original Dragon Ball, Trunks would fight Mecha Frieza. Since this is the what if, Mecha Frieza is not here. So Trunks doesn't have to fight him, and even in his original what if timeline, he had to fight him either. So Frieza's fine. Now he would go to Goku's house and still fight Goku, and they would still have a showcase, back and forth little thing. Now Trunks would actually show Goku Super Saiyan. Now Goku was amazed. He never knew this power was possible. And Vegeta would then arrive, same with the others. Trunks would then tell him about his past. All that happens the same, just a different location, and no Yardrat or Frieza. All that happens the same. They would start fighting each other, and Goku would hold his own pretty well against Trunks. And Trunks was amazed at Goku's power, even in base form. He was surprised that Goku cannot go Super Saiyan, but he never heard of Goku going Super Saiyan either. Now, he would then talk about the androids, saying how these two androids are insanely strong, and Goku also dies because of a heart virus like the original. Now, he would give Goku the medicine that Bulma made later on in the future, and tell him that he will meet him back up once more to face down these androids. He gives him the time and the date, and Goku was excited to fight these androids if they're that strong. We last kicked off with after Trunks met with Goku, they had a little spar. Trunks would then give Goku the heart medicine and explain all about the androids to Goku. Now, most of the events would happen the same here, but considering the fact that Goku would train with Piccolo and Gohan here, Goku does know that Gohan does have a special potential within him. Now, Goku doesn't know if Gohan can turn into a Super Saiyan. Remember, Goku's never really seen a Super Saiyan other than Trunks. So he wonders if he can do the same thing, or maybe he's kind of there yet. He doesn't know. But now Goku would actually be focusing on himself a little bit more, as he's actually going to control the power that he already has. Now Goku did see that when he fought Frieza, he turned into this primalistic state, but it boosted his power tenfold. Not to mention too, it's not taxing and draining like how Kaioken is. So Goku would then begin to meditate with the help of Piccolo, as Piccolo is the best guy with ki control and meditation to help him learn this power and to control it. Now I do feel like with over the 3 years, Goku would be able to control for himself to turn into the Akari state. He would be able to control the raging power within him, and he can access the Akari state at his own will. He still has to keep watch of it though, because he can very quickly lose control, as rage has always been something that Goku's been struggling with ever since he was a baby. And he doesn't know why. No matter how much he meditates and trains to do better, it continues to get worse and worse. But most of the training would happen the same, just the fact that Goku's power is rising a lot more higher than the original. Now, as you guys already know, Broly's power rises because of the power that's in front of him. When Broly's backed into a corner, his power level skyrockets to new levels, and he has to overcome that power. It's the same thing for Goku. Now, the 3 years would pass, all the events would happen the exact same, all up until when the androids show up. As you guys know, this is Dr. Gero and Android 19. Now, these two androids are a lot more powerful than the original. Not by a massive margin, but they are a lot more powerful. The more powerful ones are definitely Android 17 and 18, which we'll see very shortly here. Now, Goku would begin his battle, and Goku would actually go into the Akari state, and he'll pretty much slap around Android 19. Now, the major issue here, though, is that Android 19 would begin draining his power, and Goku is also starting to succumb to the heart virus, like before. Now, Goku has learned to use his rage a little bit to help raise his power even more. Goku has been testing the water with this. It's kind of like a seesaw. He kind of has to perfectly balance it, because if he goes too deep in the water, he's going to drown into his rage and he'll be completely bazonk out of control. So, Goku knows that he's losing power. He has to finish Android 19 now. So Goku would then give into his rage and fly in and rip Android 19's arms off and kind of bash him to the ground and shoot a full power attack which would kill him. Now, Goku here would then succumb to the heart virus as he would go base form, as that took the last sap of energy that he could, and Yamcha would then carry Goku back to Kami's house so Goku can get the heart medicine. Now, Piccolo would then begin his battle, very similar with Dr. Gero. Now, Piccolo here is actually a lot stronger. If you guys remember, he was sparring a way more powerful Goku and a more powerful Gohan for 3 years. A lot of people like to doubt Piccolo's amazing potential, but from Dragon Ball Super, Piccolo's always been able to keep up, especially in Dragon Ball Z. He's always been really consistent. But now, Piccolo here is insanely strong. He's a lot more powerful than the original. He's actually able to put up a pretty solid fight against Dr. Gero, but Piccolo was starting to get tired, as his stamina was running out, and the androids don't have to worry about that. All up until Vegeta would show up. And now Vegeta's been waiting for this, and y'all know it, Vegeta would then transform into a Super Saiyan. Now this version of Vegeta is actually a little bit stronger as well. Reasoning why is because he's pushing his limits a lot more, as there is bigger challenges ahead of him and he has to try and surpass Kakarot. It's not by a ungodly margin, but he is a little bit more powerful. He's very consistent with Piccolo right now in terms of power. Now, with the help of Vegeta, they were able to pretty much really injure Dr. Gero. But as you guys know, Dr. Gero, he is able to escape and they can't search him because of his ki. Once when this happens, Dr. Gero would escape and activate Android 17 and Android 18. They would pretty much kill Dr. Gero, tossing him to the side and ripping his head off. They would then go on a little fun spree. They would walk down the road, and this is when the fight happens. Now all the Z Fighters would be there, as Vegeta would then begin his fight with Android 18. Now this is where some stuff is a little bit worse. These two androids are vastly stronger than the original. And Android 18 kind of beats up Vegeta worse than she did in the original. Vegeta doesn't do much against her. She's far too powerful. Not to mention too, Android 16 is actually stronger as well. He's the strongest of the three still, but he is actually stronger too. Now, we do go into the fact that Vegeta did have his arm broken. He was beat up way worse than the original. Now, the Z Fighters, they cannot combat this. Even Trunks tries to attack, it would not do nothing to them. Now, Trunks is actually surprised that it is true, though, that the androids, and by the way, the canon timeline is not consistent in this what if. Goku was still the legendary Super Saiyan in Trunks' timeline, just to verify that up. I've actually seen some people comment about that. Goku and Trunks' this whole what if series, even the Trunks' timeline, is involved with Goku being the legendary Super Saiyan, just to clear that up. And just like the canon version as well, these versions of the androids are actually stronger than the one that Trunks fought, but they're not as evil and malicious as you guys already know that. Now, of course, the androids would then walk off, do whatever they want, start destroying stuff here and there, not really doing anything too crazy. Now, of course, as you guys know, a little bitty bug would then be traveling around. We all know who that is. That's Cell. Cell is still a creation. He's still there. We'll worry about Cell later. He's kind of off doing his own thing a little bit, absorbing some humans. But now, Goku would be battling the Heartfires. A lot of the events would happen pretty much the exact same, all the way up until we would have Piccolo meeting up with Kami. All that would happen this, I mean, not too much is really going on. We would have Piccolo meet up with Kami, and of course, Kami would talk with Piccolo, and they would still do their fusion. Now, how powerful is this version of Piccolo? Well, I will comfortably tell you that Piccolo, before fusing with Kami, was almost as strong as his self after he fused with Kami, if you understand what I'm saying. And with fusing with Kami, he's almost twice that. So Piccolo is very powerful in this what if. Now, Piccolo would fly down and begin his fight with Android 17. And the two would be pretty much equal. But in this what if, Android 17 does have the slight edge above Piccolo, but Piccolo is able to kind of really close the gap on 101. Now, this is when bad happens. Cell would then show himself. Now, this first form version of Cell is terrifying. He is far more powerful than the original. Dr. Gero put more time and effort into Cell. This Cell is terrifying. He still does need to absorb the two androids to become perfect as the original, but he's far superior to his original self. Now, of course, he would then trick Android 17 into fighting. Piccolo was too tired, and Cell would kind of toss Piccolo aside. Android 17 would try to fight him, but Cell would then use the solar flare, and he would absorb Android 17. Thus, creating semi-perfect Cell. Now, this is a bit of an issue. Now, Android 18, Android 16 would, of course, fly away, as Tien kind of used his Tri-Beam to kind of hold down Cell for a little while, just to kind of get everybody away, and Piccolo was able to be carried off. And of course, Piccolo survived the attack. Now, once when this goes on, Vegeta and Trunks need to plan ahead. So, Vegeta and Trunks would then use the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and of course, begin to start training together, as you guys know. Now, during this time as well, Goku has gotten better from the Heartfires. Pretty much all the events happen the same. With all the Z Fighters going in and training, all that would happen the same. Even the factor is that, yes, Vegeta does unlock his Super Vegeta, or you can say or you can call it Grade 2 or Ultra Vegeta, if you will. And he would meet up with Trunks. Now, this Vegeta is far stronger. Again, Trunks is stronger as well. Vegeta is training to also surpass Kakarot and surpass stronger androids. He is going to naturally be stronger. Now, in this what if, though, Vegeta would not have such an easy time beating up semi-perfect Cell. Vegeta would actually have a pretty tough battle with Cell. I will say that Vegeta is stronger than him, but not by much. Because, remember, this is a way more powerful Vegeta, but this is a way more powerful Cell. Now, especially when Vegeta whips out the final flash, it would actually almost kill Cell. And this would terrify Cell, as he doesn't know that Vegeta can do it again. Remember, because Vegeta used up a lot of his energy to use the final flash, but he doesn't know that. So he's kind of panicking a little bit. Now, as you all know, Vegeta makes the dumbest mistake in probably one of the dumbest mistakes in all of Dragon Ball. The Cell arc made no sense in terms of brains. They were kind of dumb, with Goku giving Cell a Senzu Bean, fighting Gohan, and also with Vegeta literally letting Cell absorb Android 18. Made no sense to me at all. Well, Vegeta would do the same thing. It's the same Vegeta, he's still cocky and arrogant, he would do the same exact thing, and Trunks would then try and stop it, but Vegeta would slap him aside, telling him, no, you're not stopping it. Now, Trunks would actually begin fighting Vegeta a little bit, just because Vegeta is more tired. Trunks can try and stop him. Sadly, it was too late. Cell absorbed Android 18, of course tossing aside Android 16, not much he can do. And by God, we now have Perfect Cell in all of his green, buggy glory. Now, this version of Cell is terrifyingly stronger. But I mean stronger, he is far stronger than his original self. I can even throw a bone in there and say that he is far stronger than his super perfect form. He's stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Cell in this form is even stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Goku. Cell, at this current point in time, is on the lower levels of the Majin Buu saga. He is not consistent with the likes of Majin Buu or nothing like that. He is on the likes of Fat Buu. And this is just not his super perfect form. If he did that, he would be far than Super Saiyan 3. But that's for later on. Now, Cell was ecstatic that he was able to get his new perfect form. Fight with Vegeta would be absolutely embarrassing. Vegeta would get beaten kind of faster because he used up a lot of his energy. And Trunks would then go into his, I guess, grade 3 Super Saiyan, the fake Broly form. Trunks is trying to copy Goku. We all know this. Trunks would kind of do okay against Cell. Of course, he does have the strength, but sadly, Cell's even stronger than that. He's holding back, as we all know. I mean, Cell only went full power against Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He never went full power before that. So Cell would, quote-unquote, use his full strength, of course he didn't do it, and beat Trunks up the same way, and he would actually let him go. As the main one he wants to fight is Goku. Now, Cell has all the data from Goku. Now, Cell knows that Goku's power rises as he gets upset and his rage increases. Now, does Cell have the same thing? That's the terrifying part. And to kind of clear up you guys' question, Cell does. Of course, Cell does not have the legendary Super Saiyan form. He doesn't have that kind of power, but he does have the rage potential boost that Goku can get. But at the same time, Cell kind of contradicts that because Cell has more beings inside of his body, more DNA, so it's harder for Cell to lose himself completely in rage. Cell has a better mental capacity than Goku. When Goku gets angry, he loses complete control in a battle. If Cell got upset, his power will indeed rise, but you'll guys see later on in the story when Cell fights Goku what I'm talking about, exactly. Now, most of the training would go the same, with the factor of that Goku would be recovered, and they would all go up to the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and Cell would then offer to battle, and I believe about 11 days. So that's plenty of time. Now, Goku knows that his son Gohan and him, they could potentially take on Cell. But they would actually ask themselves, how powerful is Goku compared to him? Goku states, oh, I'm not strong enough to fight Cell at all. Cell would easily destroy me. Kind of shocking everybody, but Goku states, but that's why me and my son Gohan, we're going to go in there and we're going to get stronger. All of us. Now, of course, Piccolo would go in by himself. Vegeta and Trunks, they did already go in there. But let's just say, for fun, they went back in there, because why not? It's 11 days. Especially since Vegeta lost that badly. I want to give Vegeta something nice. Maybe he can go back in there again. Now, of course, we do have Goku and Gohan. Now, Gohan here is far stronger than the original. Not to mention, dear God, they are training together for a solid year in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber with grueling battle, and Goku knows that he has to control this deep power that is within him even more. So Goku would push Gohan really hard. Now, Gohan would actually learn how to turn Super Saiyan, and Gohan would actually start learning to master it, as I feel like Gohan is a genius on his own. Gohan would, and Goku would even tell him, well, I think what I would do in that form is to kind of learn it to where it's not as taxing on your body. So Gohan would take note of that, and he'll kind of discover Mastered Super Saiyan for himself, to where it's stronger and it doesn't have no ki drain. Now, Goku would actually push Gohan a lot, which in return, Gohan's potential, which is almost as high as Goku because his is higher in general, back and forth is kind of insanity. Now, once when they walk out, Goku here was really proud of himself and mainly his son. Everybody was in awe at Gohan's power, even suppressed. Cell even sensed it a little bit. Now, Goku was suppressing his power a lot more. Gohan was comfortably sitting in Super Saiyan. And they were kind of surprised, as Goku explains that Gohan was able to master Super Saiyan perfectly. It has no stamina issue, no outrageous emotions, and Goku was able to completely master his Ikari state as well. Now, Goku has actually tried dabbling in the Super Saiyan route, but we will get to that very shortly. All the Z Fighters would prepare, get the outfits on, and they would all go to the Cell Arena. As you all know, Hercule goes up first, because he is the champion. Now, none of the Z Fighters are needed, because Hercule easily defeats Cell in their battle. The world is saved, and Hercule's obviously viewed as the hero. Cell has no chance against Hercule. Even though Cell is stronger, Hercule's power is limitless. Hercule can slap Zeno himself and defeat... Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Hercule was then slapped away one shot because Hercule wanted Goku and them to look good. We all know this is true, okay? He does this for everybody. Only real Dragon Ball fans know this, okay? Now, of course, Goku would go up first. As Goku would want to fight Cell head-on, the two would begin their battle. Now, Goku here was in the Ikari state, and him and Cell would actually be pretty even. Not to mention the fact that Goku's power kept on rising. But Goku knows that if Goku loses... Now, Goku knows that he can probably beat Cell. He doesn't know how strong Cell is at his max. They're both still holding back, but he wants to see what his son Gohan can do. I know this is a stupid Goku moment, but guys, Goku would do the same thing. So Goku... I'm not going to say that Goku gives Cell a senzu bean. Cell can regenerate his energy just fine. Now, Gohan would actually begin his fight with Cell, as Goku knows that Gohan does have a hidden power within his son. Now, Gohan and Cell's fight would actually be pretty cool. Gohan is I would say Gohan is probably about nearly equal the power with Goku here, and it would be a really cool battle. Obviously, Gohan doesn't have the will to fight. It's the same battle as the original. You can just copy and paste it for just consistency. Now, all up until Android... Now, Cell, of course, puffs out all the other Cell Juniors, because he's a Mon now, and they would all start ganging up on Goku and them. Now, Goku, of course, he's not as exhausted, and he can actually battle the Cell Juniors, but they start ganging up on him. But now, cutting back to... Of course, Gohan here, he's getting furious. His power was rising. Now, Cell was getting intrigued, as Cell would then, of course, kill Android 16. Because, of course, Hercule saved the whole world, and he threw Android 16's head, and Cell stomped on it, killing him. Gohan would snap, as he would then turn into a Super Saiyan 2. His power was astounding. Gohan in this version, I can comfortably say, is probably near the levels of Majin Buu. A Fat Buu, of course. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. He is around the level of Fat Buu, potentially even higher with the Rage Boost on top of that. Now, Cell was really excited here. Cell would then showcase more of his full power, and him and Gohan would be squaring blows back and forth. Now, Cell here is actually stronger than Gohan, because of the fact that Cell is still holding back some power. And of course, Gohan would get some really good hits on Cell. It'll be a really, really close battle, but Cell would begin to get angry, and he would then showcase his full power. His aura growing green, and his muscles bulging a little bit, Cell here's power would then skyrocket a little bit more, and he would begin to beat down on Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Gohan here could not keep up with this version of Cell. He has too many abilities, and his power is continuing to rise, not at the rate of what we will see Goku doing. Now, Goku was too busy handling the Cell Juniors. He would turn, finishing one off just to see Cell almost, in Goku's eyes, killing Gohan. As he would then blind Gohan with a solar flare, he would then shoot a death beam right through his son's chest, as Gohan would then turn base form and fall. Now, of course, Gohan is alive, but it looks like he died. Goku would snap. He would be grabbing his head as his rage completely gave in. His whole eyes would then start glowing red as his pupils would disappear. His muscles would bulge massively as he was in his Ikari state, and a massive beam of green energy would shoot in the air, as Cell would then turn in shock, as Goku would then rise out of this massive energy. Goku's hair was now pretty much yellow, and his eyes were gone. His pupils were gone. Goku has now become a Super Saiyan. Now, Goku would then waste no time screaming and roaring almost as he would fly towards Cell and begin the beat down on Cell. Now, Cell was astonished by this beast's power. He does explain that Goku's power level is astonishing, but he has no skill. So, Cell would actually be able to hang with Goku for a very short minute, but Goku's power level is continuing to rise. Now, Goku would actually shoot a mouth blast and blow Cell in half. Now, Cell would regenerate, but he's getting furious himself. His power level is rising as well. But sadly, Goku's potential mixing with the threat that's actually hurting him in the rage boost, Goku's unstoppable. Nothing can stop him. You would need to be leaps ahead of power to be able to stop him in time before he outgrows you. That's how Broly's power works. Because you can't beat him just straight up just punching blows and you're near equal power. He'll just outstep you over time. Now, Cell would then showcase his maximum power. And he would begin to fight Goku shooting a Kamehameha. Goku would block the attack barely and throw it in the air, and he would fly in, gut punching Cell. Now Goku would then charge a full power attack and blast it towards Cell. It's almost like a green Kamehameha. Cell would be obliterated, almost to his last cell. Now Goku would not be reverted to base form yet, as he would still kind of losing control as he's looking around at what to destroy. Goku would then kind of calm down a little bit, seeing his son. But now, as we all know, Goku would then start to shrink back down into his normal base form, as they think that it's over. They don't sense his energy, as he's just one cell. Get it? Quote? Okay. Now, Gohan was alright, but then a massive ki beam would then fly through as a gust of wind came up and Cell came back as Super Perfect Cell. Now, this version of Cell looked a little bit different. He still has the green, legendary Super Saiyan looking aura with electricity, but then throw in the fact that Cell's eyes, instead of his purplish eyes, they are now completely red. His whole eye, there's no white, it's all completely red, and his pupils are solid, glowing green. Now, Cell here explains that he's never been so... And now Cell's actually kind of losing his mind a little bit, as Cell kind of came back, but the power is kind of making him give into the rage. And his power level is kind of rising as he's losing control. He's bulking up, getting bigger. He's a lot like Goku right now, and Cell's losing himself in the rage. Vegeta would then snap and fly in to attack Cell. Now, this is when Cell would almost kill Vegeta by cutting off his arm, with just a slash movement. Now, Vegeta would then fall to the floor. Man, Vegeta's arm is getting messed up today. Now, Vegeta would then fall to the floor, screaming in pain. Goku, looking at Cell, would give into the rage. Goku has no choice. Goku would give into the rage that he's already feeling, and he would go back into the Super Saiyan-like state and begin his battle with Cell. Now, the two would be clashing blows, shaking the entire solar system and more. But Goku here, he was starting to adapt. Cell's power was stuck. Now, Cell was reaching the limitation of his power, but Goku wasn't. Goku's power continued to rise exponentially. Goku would then bulge his muscles even more, and Goku's hair would turn green, and the rest of his G was torn off. Goku would then have turned into the official legendary Super Saiyan. Now, Goku would then absolutely demolish Cell. Cell was running out of options. Now, as you guys know, Cell in the original was going to try and blow himself up, but it failed miserably as he came back. Now, would Cell do this? No, because Cell's mind is kind of not fully there. He's still kind of lost in the rage himself. He's more set up than Goku, but he's kind of not thinking right because he's rage-induced as well. Cell would then charge up a final Kamehameha, or his perfected Kamehameha, say goodbye to your solar system kind of Kamehameha. Goku would then kind of do the same, and Goku would then charge up a bluish-green Kamehameha. The two would have a massive beam clash, and Goku's power continued to rise. Cell's power was doing the same. As Cell was being pushed to his limit, the power was almost equal. Now Goku was starting to skid back a little bit, as it was the unstoppable force meaning the immovable object. It was like, you know, two triangles bouncing into each other. One was rising, one was rising. It was a never-ending battle. But now Goku would then realize that his son Gohan would appear next to him. Now Gohan was given a senzu bean and he was alright, as remember, Goku did not take one from the Cell Jr. So, the last senzu bean was given to Gohan. Gohan would then burst to Super Saiyan 2 and use every ounce of power, and they would do a father and son Kamehameha together. And it would completely obliterate Cell off the face of the planet. Cell's dead. But now Goku would then revert to base form, absolutely exhausted. Both him and his son would fall over, smiling as they had defeated Cell together. The Z-Fighters were all happy, as of course, all of the Z-Fighters were healed up and taken back. Now, this is where a lot of things change. Goku's not dead, so he would never go to the other world. Well, could he potentially go to the other world? He can if he wants to, and I think he would. Goku would go to the other world because King Kai would kind of flaunt about, oh, Goku, I would need, because Goku trains on his planet. But here's the other issue, though, is that Goku would kind of need Kami to go back on King Kai's planet. But the problem is Kami kind of got absorbed by Piccolo. So how's Goku going to be able to get to King Kai's planet? Well, Goku kind of thinks to himself, he's like, man, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to pull some what-if fun logic, and I'm going to state that King Kai has, which I don't understand why all Kais, if Supreme Kai can do it and the other Kais can do it, why can't King Kai do it? I mean, even Kami can teleport. It would be cool if King Kai would tell Goku, well, I can actually teleport down there and come get you, or teleport you here. But I can't do it very often, I can only do it sometimes. That would make sense. It's not like a Kai. He can just sometimes do it with his powers, which would be really cool if Kais can do that, by the way. And King Kai couldn't do it because you could just say for what a purpose is that he was dead, so the dead can't go down, but since King Kai's not actually dead, he can. Now, of course, Goku would then go back and forth with King Kai for a couple of years. Vegeta would get a brand new arm from Bulma, as it is very futuristic looking. It's still like a metal arm, and it acts and moves just like a normal hand, and he can shoot Ki Blast out of it, and more that you guys will see later on. But Vegeta does this as a good reminder. This is a very good reminder to Vegeta that he needs to continue training and getting stronger. Not to mention, he wants to surpass Kakarot, and he's going to have to find even more powers of a Super Saiyan to even match up with him. Now, other than that, Gohan would actually train with Goku here and there, as Goku doesn't want Gohan getting rusty, and Chi-Chi would understand that a little bit, as long as Gohan keeps his studies, which he does. So Gohan actually never gets rusty, like the original. He would actually keep his power consistent, potentially actually getting stronger, which would make sense, considering his potential's higher and he's sparring with his father. He's not just doing like training every, so often. What if Goku was a Legendary Super Saiyan Part 5? Now, right after the defeat of the monster Cell, there would be 7 years apiece, just like the original, but this time, Goku is actually alive. So, sadly, Goku would not be dead, so there's no Super Saiyan 3, even though he couldn't learn it, and he wouldn't be able to meet the likes of Pikkon and some of the other people. Now, would Goku actually learn the fusion dance? Well, we do know that, and for what if purposes, King Kai can travel back and forth and bring Goku up, which it would make sense, considering that if Kami can do it, why can't King Kai do it, which doesn't make no sense. Well, Goku doesn't know instant transmission, so Goku periodically would go train at King Kai's planet. But Goku does have the ability from King Emma that he can go to the other world and maybe go around and see some of the fighters, so he might meet Pikkon up there. But I do feel like, just for what if purposes, Goku can actually learn the fusion technique, as he met one of the Metamorphians who can do the fusion ability. Now, 7 years would pass, Goten would still be born the same age, being 7 to 8 years old, Trunks would still be 7 to 8 years old in this what if, all that is the exact same. Gohan here is not a weakling. Gohan has not slacked off his training, he's actually been training more. Gohan does find passion because he knows that one day his father's not going to be here, and he knows that just from the likes of Cell, by the way, Gohan failed. Even with this new power, he failed. And he wants to be strong enough to protect his family and his loved ones when his father won't be able to be here. Goku talking to him for over 7 years, I think he'll be able to put that in his head. That, hey, we're not going to be around here forever. I want to make sure that if I'm gone or Vegeta's gone, you and the boys can take care of each other and this planet when we're not here. So Gohan, of course, still doing his studying, that's his main priority. He does still keep his training up. He trains with his father a lot. And he also trains with Goten a lot. Now, here's another thing. Goten does have a higher potential than the original, as he is in the same bloodline of Goku. Gohan had a higher potential, and Goten will have the same. Now, Goten here actually learned Super Saiyan a little bit earlier, just because of the fact that he's training with Goku. And Goten surprisingly learns it the same way, just because he has very high S cells, very similar to how Gohan did. Now, Goten here is a lot more powerful than his original self, and Gohan here is a lot more powerful than his original self. We'll get into, I would say, not official power levels, because that's irrelevant now at this point with numbers, but in terms of like power scaling it to other people, we can kind of go off of. Now, the tournament would still happen, all the Z Fighters would go, and of course Vegeta does want to have a rematch with Goku. Now, do I still feel like Vegeta would have that malice and hatred towards Goku? I don't think so, because Goku's alive. Vegeta can fight him whenever he wants, and they have sparred a few times. But Vegeta still has that rival within him, and he does want to beat Kakarot, obviously, but Vegeta actually has respect for Kakarot, knowing that he is the best. I mean, Vegeta had to swallow the fact that he's a legendary Super Saiyan. Even though he wishes it was him more than anybody else, but that's just how it is. And he has a family, he's settled down. Of course, he's still the grumpy Vegeta, he's no different. But he's not evil in his heart, and he's not as, I would say, malice towards everybody as he was in the Buu Saga, which will very much affect the outcome of later on. Babidi's still around, Buu still needs energy, so the Supreme Kai and Kibito Kai will still appear. Now, where some things will change here is, of course, the little fights. Now, Goten and Trunks. Well, Goten and Trunks are still best friends, but now during their match, surprisingly, Goten would win. I wouldn't say easily, but he would kind of beat down on Trunks a little bit. Trunks wouldn't really have a chance against his version of Goten. Even in base form, Goten is stronger than him, and using Super Saiyan, he's a lot stronger than him. So Trunks would actually lose the match, but of course they're buddies, and Trunks gives Trunks motivation to get stronger and to catch up to him. Now, as for going on to Videl, I know I glossed over the fact of Gohan's Orange Star High School, but all that pretty much happens the exact same. Nothing really changes there. Gohan's the exact same. He's still the Golden Warrior. He would still do the Great Saiyan Man stuff. All that happens the same. So don't get that twisted. He's still the OG, the best Great Saiyan Man. He's just a more powerful version of him. So yeah, him and Videl are kind of dating. They're kind of in love. You know how it goes. Now, Videl here is pretty much the same power level as before, so Spopovich would still beat her nearly to death, which would make Gohan furious. He would go fight and pretty much go meet up with Kibito, and meeting up with Kibito Kai, Gohan would then showcase his full power, and he would go Super Saiyan 2 like the original. But this time, Gohan is far stronger than his original self here. I mean, leagues stronger. As we know, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan in the Cell Saga in this What If was actually a little bit stronger than his previous in the original. But now, cutting into this version of Gohan, he is far stronger than that. This version of Gohan in Super Saiyan 2 is around the power level of Fat Buu comfortably. I do think that, considering his potential and the fact that he's been training lightly for a couple of years, it's very plausible. As you guys know, of Gohan's potential is absolutely insanity. That, yeah, Gohan is at the power level of Fat Buu, and that's being nerfing him a little bit. He could potentially be even higher, but we'll talk about that later. Now, Kibito was absolutely stunned that Gohan had this power. Goku was smiling, he wasn't surprised. Vegeta was a little bit surprised too. He's never seen Gohan go full power since the Cell arc, but he wasn't shocked either. Now, Spopovich and Yamu, they would still take his energy. Supreme Kai would have to kind of hold him back with his power, which he would barely be able to do. And still they would take the energy and fly off. Of course, Supreme Kai would then explain who Majin Buu is, and Babidi and everybody else, and the fact that he's a universal threat. We need to take care of him now. So, after Gohan recovers with the help of a Senzu Bean for plot, he would of course help out Videl and give her another Senzu Bean for plot, and Gohan would then fly off with Goku, Vegeta, Supreme Kai, Gohan, and also Kibito Kai. Now, of course, some of the other Z Fighters would then follow along, such as Piccolo, Krillin. Of course, they would want to see what's going on. Now, how powerful is Piccolo? I know some people are probably asking. Well, Piccolo hasn't been slacking off on his training either. Piccolo's actually very, very strong. You'll see very shortly. We'll talk more about Piccolo's power in a minute. Now, flying down, they would of course see Babidi's ship. They would go inside, but something will change very quickly here. Majin Buu's already been born. Because Gohan's energy is literally as powerful as Majin Buu, they have plenty of energy, so Majin Buu was able to be resurrected and brought back. But of course, it is the Fat Buu, who was very playful and childish. Supreme Kai was hoping, well, as you guys know, Babidi was hoping for Kid Buu, the pure one, but of course that's not happening. So, of course, Goku and Vegeta would then look at each other, and they're like, well, who should actually fight Majin Buu? Well, actually, Gohan would actually say, let me go up and let me try fighting him. Now, Vegeta and Goku would allow this because they want their children to start fighting for themselves, so in case they're not around, they can take care of the planet and protect their loved ones. I feel like the same mindset would be the exact same for Goku and Vegeta. It's the same exact thing. Goku wanted his boys to be strong enough and defend for themselves, to have some fun with it, and it's the same thing with Vegeta, but he's obviously not going to say it. It's the same concept. So Gohan would then begin his battle with Fat Buu. Now Gohan, using his full power Super Saiyan 2, is actually a little bit stronger than Fat Buu, but we'll get onto that in a second. Babidi was actually really nervous, so he would send out Deborah to go handle the other people, so in case they don't gang up on Buu. Now, of course, Piccolo would actually stop him here. Now, Piccolo would smirk and remove his weighted clothing, as Piccolo would then showcase something that he has been working on a lot. Piccolo would then go into a full power state of his Namekian form, buffing up a little bit, and this version of Piccolo would actually change color a little bit. This is not the official Potential Unleashed form from Super Heroes, by the way. Don't get that one twisted. That's a Potential Unleashed form that he got from the Dragon Balls. That's different. This version of his color does change a little bit. He's a bit more of like a lighterish green, but some things changed a little bit. And he has more veins on his head. He's basically using basically Super Namekian is what we are going to call it. Super Namekian form. And Piccolo at this power level is actually really strong. Now Piccolo would begin his fight with Deborah, and the two would actually be kinda even, but Piccolo would start getting the upper hand on him as Piccolo had more skills and abilities. Now Deborah would try his spit technique, but Piccolo would then notice it and dodge it as he noticed that the area where the spit hit turns to stone. Now Piccolo needs to take note of that. Now Deborah would try using his sword, and Piccolo with his healing abilities, it would slice off one of his arms, but Piccolo would be able to heal it. Now the two would actually have a very intense battle going back and forth, and soon over time, I feel like Piccolo and Deborah would be kind of even. But Piccolo using a special beam cannon, as you guys remember, Piccolo can hold Deborah down, and he would then shoot a special beam cannon going right through him. But before Deborah dies, he spits on Piccolo's arm, which is around his body, and the stone started going up his arm. But now Piccolo would very quickly actually rip his own arm off before the stone completely covers him, and he throws it on the ground as the arm was just a stone arm on the floor, and he would regenerate once more. Now Piccolo at this point is completely gassed, so he's completely tired and drained from the battle. But Goku would actually smirk and say, "You did an awesome job, Piccolo. That guy was actually really strong." And Piccolo's happy that his training has gotten him so far, so Piccolo gets a W in this what if. Now of course, Gohan fighting Majin Buu is kind of crazy. Now Majin Buu is actually fighting Gohan pretty evenly, but the difference here is that Majin Buu sadly has the healing ability. Well, what's Gohan really going to be able to do against this version? As then Buu will then showcase one of his most dangerous techniques. Buu would then tell Gohan to basically go full power, say, "Buu want to fight you, go full power, Mimi." Now Buu already knows what he's going to do. I think you all know. Now Gohan doesn't have a choice. Vegeta would even tell him saying, "Hey, you're losing power quickly, go to your full power and finish this up." Gohan would then smirk as he would then charge up his aura to the maximum output that he can, and his hair will grow longer, and yes, Gohan has turned into a Super Saiyan 3. Before I get attacked in the comments, "Major Dragon, that's impossible. Gohan can't do that. Oh, he didn't train in the other world. Oh, it's not gonna happen." It's a what if. Enjoy it. And it's really cool. Who does not like a Super Saiyan 3 Gohan? That'd be awesome. And also with his potential, anything's possible for Gohan here, being pushed by his own father. Now Gohan, this form is brand new to him, so Gohan cannot use this form for long, so he would actually absolutely demolish Buu, slapping him around, blowing him in pieces, leaving some pieces hanging around. Now Buu here would actually absorb Gohan, surprising him. They never knew that Buu had this ability before. As Gohan would then get absorbed, they were shocked as he was absorbed by that Buu, and Buu would then begin to change. Buu would pretty much look very similar to Buuhan, maybe not as skinny, but he would pretty much just look identical to Buuhan, and he would be a lot more intelligent, plus he has Super Saiyan 3 Gohan inside of him. He's very powerful. Now this is when Goku actually does want to cut in and actually do something about it. And by the way, Babidi's other subordinates such as Yatkan, Pui Pui, they would actually try to attack Vegeta as well, but you all know that's gonna go. Vegeta at this point does know Super Saiyan 2, and he is actually curious about Super Saiyan 3. He does want to learn that power, but that's for later on. Now, Goku would actually begin his battle with Buhan. But now, Goku here would then showcase what all of his training for 7 years has been done. Goku would then charge up his energy, charging it up completely, and his hair would turn yellow and then green. This form is a kind of the halfway point between a full power legendary Super Saiyan and the normal Super Saiyan. Goku has been able to use the abilities of a legendary Super Saiyan, but with the control of a normal Super Saiyan here. As if he goes too far, he'll then become a beast and get really bulky and massive, but that's his most powerful state, as then his power level will continue to rise at an astronomical rate and he's more powerful, more durable, but his mind is completely gone. But in this state, he can control the power, so it's a perfect middle ground. It's a perfect middle ground form that Goku has trained beyond intensively for 7 years straight. With the potential, it's very much plausible. Now, how powerful is this version of Goku here? Well, I would comfortably say, and this is not light Goku, this version of Goku is easily as powerful as a Super Saiyan God Goku. Why? Because he's been training for 7 years. That is lowballing Goku, as a matter of fact, with Broly's immense potential. Now, Goku in this state is as strong as Super Saiyan God Goku. You guys already know what's going to happen here. Now, Goku knows that they can wish Gohan back with the Dragon Balls, so everything will be okay. As remember, they don't know about going inside of Buu and then getting Gohan out, so that wouldn't really happen. But just for what if and fun purposes, let's just say that Goku's going to try and go inside of Buu so he can, collect them. As Gohan can sense that Gohan is in there. So, Goku would easily beat around Buu, and then Buu would use the absorption technique once more, but Goku would then form an aura around himself and be absorbed. Everybody was shocked, but then Buu goes into a very comatose-like state. As Buu is inside of his mind, as Goku would then travel through Buu's body, disgustingly, and he would then find where everybody was hanged up. It was Gohan, and it was Fat Buu. But, as you guys know, there is no Fat Buu, because that is Fat Buu. So, realistically, the actual person that is actually hung up is actually Evil Buu. The gray version. I just want to switch it just for fun. Evil Buu is the one that's actually contained in there. But obviously Goku, since nothing but pure evil, he's not going to free that guy. So he would then start to take down Gohan, but then Buhan would begin fighting him. Goku easily slaps him aside, and he would then rip Gohan from Buu's body, and they would escape. Now once when they puff back out, Goku would then set the egg down as Gohan was pretty much knocked out cold. Buu would begin changing back into Fat Buu, and he was furious. Goku states that you've done enough, Buu, you're a danger to everybody. I do sense some good in you, but this is just not safe. So Goku would then charge up a full power Kamehameha, and he would completely obliterate Majin Buu, thus ending Majin Buu, and sadly there is no Super Buu, Kid Buu, or Oob in this What If. Oob has never been reincarnated, and Majin Buu is gone. That means Mr. Satan won't win as many tournaments as he did. He'll probably cheat like he always does. Now that Majin Buu is gone, the entire family would then enjoy time of peace. But Vegeta does want one thing. He does want a rematch with Goku. One day. And Vegeta states that he will get a power beyond that of his form in that Super Saiyan 3. He'll find it, and he will. Now a few years would pass, and there was a certain purple cat that has now awoken as he sensed a high power level nearby, and he has the dream about a true Super Saiyan God and a rival that will be his true amazing fight. We last kicked off with Lord Beerus awakening, having the same events that has happened before in the original movie, as Beerus had a dream about the Super Saiyan God, or a true rival that can give him the battle that he's been longing for millions of years. Now, of course, he would meet the Oracle Fish, and he would meet up with Whis to kind of get a gauge on what this guy is, and what this being can do. Now, Whis would then showcase about the Saiyans being destroyed, as of course that was Beerus' plan. He never liked Frieza anyway, and the fact that Frieza was killed by a Saiyan That actually piqued his interest. As then, Whis would then explain about Frieza and how he lost to a Saiyan named Son Goku. Now Whis does explain that this Saiyan is different from the rest. He has an odd form, as it is called a Super Saiyan, but it's different than the normal one that even Vegeta or his sons have been able to access. This does pique his interest, as he also states that this Son Goku has also the ability as he defeated Majin Buu as well. Now this would actually surprise Beerus as well. He has known of Majin Buu. He knows it's a creature that is basically as old as the universe is, but he's never had the privilege of really knowing anything about it. They only know that he was a being that killed thousands upon millions of years ago, and then he was sealed away by the Kais. But Beerus is pretty impressed. He's like, where is that Saiyan right now? And of course, they would explain that he's on Earth right now, so Beerus says, well, let's go. They of course pack up and get a move on. Now back on Earth, they were celebrating Bulma's 38th birthday party. The exact same things would happen here. Aside the fact that Goku's not on King Kai's planet, he's hanging out with his family and friends. Now once when Beerus arrives, Goku would immediately feel a heavy pressure. He can't sense this being's energy, but he can feel it. It's almost like a thickness in the air, and it's really tight on his lungs. He would turn around and see it was Lord Beerus and Whis. Now Vegeta instantly, as soon as he saw him, would be terrified, as he was shocked that this was Lord Beerus. Now Beerus would actually smirk seeing Vegeta, how, oh, the prince was able to survive. That's impressive. Now after of course having the little meeting, Goku was very, I would say, Goku towards Beerus. He wasn't trying to be respectful at all. Beerus was walking around Goku, checking him out, lifting his arm, looking at his body structure, just checking him out, as he does see how the Saiyan was able to kill Frieza. And Goku's like, oh yeah, that was a long time ago I killed Frieza. Now Beerus explains, now what is this Super Saiyan thing that you guys can turn into? It's an ability that you hold. Goku would then show it off, and Goku says, wait, so you're a god of destruction? That must mean you must be really, really strong, right? Beerus would then smirk and say, I am the strongest being in the 7th universe. Now, of course, Vegeta was terrified of Beerus. Now, Bulma does state that, oh, I don't want you guys fighting, you're destroying my birthday party. Whis would then explain to not worry, as if they're going to have their battle, they do want to enjoy the Earth food as well. Beast will have a special barrier around them, as he's done before, having a massive sphere where they can kind of battle into for a little bit and have some fun. Now, Goku would then turn into a Super Saiyan normal, and Beerus was pretty impressed about it. He's like, that's pretty impressive power. You have a lot of potential within you. They would begin their battle. Now, this version of Goku is far stronger than the original one for the movie. He's actually able to hold his own a little bit against Beerus, but the fact that he cannot sense his energy makes it 10 times harder. So the two begin trading blows, as the fight would then take to the sky, as it would actually start getting very intense. Beerus would even tell Goku, if you do not give me a worthy fight, I'm going to destroy planet Earth. Goku, his hair would begin to turn green, as he would then mix the legendary Super Saiyan form with his Super Saiyan state, being in the middle ground, and he'd begin his battle with Beerus. Now, Beerus was actually very impressed by the Saiyan's power, as it was very powerful, but he knows that he's hiding something. There's something deeper with that power that he's holding. But he's actually here for the Super Saiyan God, and this mortal does not have God Ki. So Beerus would then stop the fight and say, first, I want to meet the Super Saiyan God first, then I'll fight you, Saiyan. They would actually use Shenron to ask for the Super Saiyan God. Shenron would then explain all about the form, all about the Saiyans. That would happen the same. Now, the fact that Videl says that she's pregnant, so they do have enough Saiyans to do it. But now, who's going to become the Super Saiyan God? I know that most of you guys are thinking, well, Goku, of course. He's the strongest one there. A lot of you guys are thinking, and even in the what-if scenario, everybody wants Goku to become that. But no, Goku does not want to become the Super Saiyan God. It is true that base-wise, he is the strongest, but he doesn't want it, as Goku never even used his full power against Beerus yet. Not to mention, too, he kind of wants to fight Beerus on his own at full strength. He doesn't want to be given power, as he's kind of focusing on his own Super Saiyan, legendary Super Saiyan power. So, the next perfect candidate, who of course would not turn this down, is Vegeta. Now, Vegeta would be the first Super Saiyan God, and this would be a really tough battle. Now, Vegeta here is actually a little bit stronger than the original, but he would be around the same power as the original Super Saiyan God. Vegeta would have a very similar fight against Beerus, all up until he loses the power and they are up in space and Vegeta loses, falling down. Now, next is Goku's turn. Now, Goku has seen how powerful Vegeta has become, and the fact that Beerus can beat him, and he wasn't even look like he was struggling that much. This makes Goku fired up. It's very rare that Goku can actually go all out. As he would then fly up and meet with Beerus, Beerus was pretty satisfied, but he does want to fight Goku next, which is odd, but he wants to because he knows that Goku has more power under the tank. Maybe he can be more entertaining than Vegeta. That's 2 desserts in one day, so he'll be happy with that. Now, Goku tells Beerus that I have this power. Once when I tap into it fully, I can't control myself. I give into this rage that's nearly impossible for me to contain. But my power continues to grow with an unimaginable rate. But what we have here is a rare opportunity, Beerus, where I can give you everything I have for the first time. And this is actually the first time that Goku can go full gas, 100% against somebody, and he's thrilled. So then Goku would begin charging up his energy, his muscles would bulge and grow bigger as his hair turns green, his eyes would disappear, and Goku has transformed into the legendary Super Saiyan. Now at first, Goku can kinda control this power, as the only thing that he can do in this state is aim the rage at something, and all of it is right on Beerus. As then, Beerus would then smirk. This was extraordinary power, even more so than that Prince Vegeta. And he doesn't even have God Ki. Beerus is actually kind of mad that he didn't take the Super Saiyan God power, but there wasn't enough time, as then Goku would appear right in front of Beerus and deck him right in the face, blasting him right up in deeper in space. The two would begin their battle, and it would shake the entire universe. As of course, Whis was eating sushi and watching, he was enjoying the battle, as he does commend that this Saiyan does have extraordinary power. For being immortal, never possessing God Ki, that's impressive. Beerus was having the time of his life. He does kind of exclaim that the Saiyan does have extraordinary power, but he's a beast. He has no skill that he had before, and this will be his downfall. Beerus would then form his purple aura, and he would charge up a Hakai ball. He would throw it right towards Goku, and it would surround the legendary Saiyan. Goku would then scream as Beerus thinks that it's all over. He'll either be nearly killed or possibly destroyed. He doesn't know. But then, he was unsurprised when Goku was actually able to condense the ball and control it. Very similar to what Golden Frieza did, if we all remember that. And then he would throw it right back towards Beerus, which Beerus would then kind of slap it out of the way. It's his own power. He would then fly in and punch Beerus full force, making a massive shockwave in space, as it was changing the clouds on Earth even. Now this would almost make Beerus bleed. And this is when Beerus is having the time of his life. He would then showcase more of his power, and the two would begin their battle. Beerus is noticing that this Saiyan's power is growing and growing, stronger and stronger as the time goes on. Does this Saiyan not have a limit to his power? And Whis is knowing this as well. Now, as the universe was slowly being destroyed from their battle, as you guys remember, the punches that Super Saiyan God Goku and Beerus was doing was destroying the entire universe. Goku had to perfectly sync his power up with Beerus to where it doesn't kind of ripple affect the whole universe. This Goku's not that smart right now to do that. So the universe is slowly, everything is slowly being destroyed. Beerus is too blinded by how much fun he's having to pay attention to it. He doesn't care. This is the most fun that he's had. This is the strongest being he's fought, other than, of course, Whis. And he's having a blast. This version of Goku, comparing to Super Saiyan God Vegeta and, of course, Super Saiyan God Goku, is far stronger. I will say that he is far stronger than Super Saiyan Blue and etc. As you guys know, Broly's power accelerates at an insane rate against an opposing threat, such as the god of Goku and Vegeta, and even Gogeta. Broly was starting to catch up, but of course, he got defeated before he could catch up in time, as we all know that. As Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta was cracked, he was absolutely insane. But now Beerus knows that he has to end this fight now, as Whis even tells him, "We need to end this fight soon, my lord." Now Beerus would know this, and he would charge up a full power Hakai ball and throw it right towards Goku. Now this Hakai ball, by the way, Beerus is not using full strength. He's using a lot more strength than he has before, but it's not enough to like max his power out. He's not at full power, not even close yet. He's getting there, but not yet. as Goku would then use every ounce of strength that he has. So as remember, Goku still knows that Earth is his home and it's about to be destroyed. So Goku would use every ounce of power he had and explode the Hakai Ball, destroying it. Goku was in his base form, the top of his G was torn off, and he was badly wounded, but he was alive. And he gave every ounce of strength that he had to deflect that attack. Beerus was actually very impressed. He didn't know that the Saiyan could do something like that. What was that power? Now Goku would then laugh and said, I don't know. I've never been pushed this far before. They would have a little talk, and Beerus would actually state, other than you, you're my second strongest fighter. I feel like he would say the same thing against the little guy, the Manito guy, whatever his name was, that Beerus faked so Goku can have the motivation to get even stronger. Goku was actually very happy. And then Beerus would, of course, explain that Whis was his teacher and he was stronger than he was. And then Goku would then faint as Beerus would help him back down towards planet Earth. And Beerus would kind of say, oh, I'm going to destroy the planet. But then he destroys a little rock and fakes being asleep. As Beerus says, oh, he must have wasted a lot of time and effort. See ya. And they would go away. Well, Vegeta was happy that at least he was able to get a new power, a new goal to look for. And Goku was happy that he needs to now have a new goal to fight for as well. He actually has a being that can beat him in a fight. And he knows that Beerus wasn't using his full power. He knows he was holding back. So time would go on the exact same. Now once when Whis does arrive on Earth to hang out, they hang out with Bulma and everything else. Whis actually wants to meet with Goku. As you guys know, Vegeta had to beg and get food and get everything else just to get to join. I feel like that would happen, but then also when Vegeta would leave, Whis would also go search for Goku, as Beerus actually wants that Saiyan to get stronger. He's very curious in the Saiyan. Now we know this because remember, Broly was kind of brought to the planet and Beerus was very interested in the Saiyan. So, and of course we all know that Chi-Lai kind of made Beerus stay, but we all know that. Goku would then arrive next to Vegeta, and the two would begin their training, or chores I might say. But now, after this, Whis would then teach Goku and Vegeta about God Ki. Now, Whis does state that Goku's energy is different, and the fact that his energy, he doesn't truly need God Essence to help hone his power. But he does teach Goku to where Goku can sense God energy and he can sense God Ki. So Goku now knows, so Goku can sense God Ki now. He knows how God Ki works. He doesn't need it because it doesn't fit him very well. But for Vegeta, it's very important. Vegeta's doing the same training that he does before, and as you guys know, within the next 2 years, they would begin their training back and forth. Goku is growing at a rate that was never seen before because he's fighting Whis. Now, Whis actually has a completely different training program for Goku. They would do a lot of meditating, a lot of ki control, a lot of mental control as well, to help Goku learn how to control this raging power that is within him. That is his first step. And then Goku can then use the ability of God Ki to mix that with the form and become the perfect fighter, as Whis would state. Whis says that you have all the power that you need and the amazing potential that you need. But this form clouds your mind, and once when it clouds your mind, well, there's nothing else you can do. You're just a mindless monster in a fight. But Whis states, but if we can control this power and harness it the right way to where you do not lose any of your mental capabilities in a fight, mixing it with the God Essence, you will be a worthy opponent for even Lord Beerus. Obviously, this gets Goku really hyped up, and he is really, really excited. Now, Vegeta here has learned Super Saiyan Blue. But we all know that Super Saiyan Blue is a horrible form. It does give great power, but in return, it's a horrible stamina drain. So Vegeta wants to find a way, having Super Saiyan Blue as a backup in case he needs a quick power-up to take down an opponent. He wants to focus on Super Saiyan God. As Super Saiyan God is a rare power, but the stamina drain is like nothing in that form. It feels more natural to Vegeta. So Vegeta wants to find a way to evolve that form, and find a way to evolve Super Saiyan God to where he doesn't need to rely on Super Saiyan Blue, as that power drains his stamina at a high rate. And even transforming in and out of the form can cut your power into 1/3. as was stated in the manga. So yeah, Vegeta's known to not have an unreliable form. That's why he never went after Super Saiyan 3. Not to mention too, the reason why Vegeta kept Super Saiyan Blue is because Goku had it and they were equal in power, but Vegeta needs to find something better and more reliable to fight the likes of Goku and to one day surpass him. That's his goal. And to fight the likes of Beerus one day. Now, of course, Lord Frieza was still brought back, he was still healed, and he would still train for a couple of months like the original. Now, could you comfortably say that he might train for an extra month or two, just because he knows how strong Goku is? There is a possibility. Now, Frieza knows how strong Goku has gotten, he was able to defeat Majin Buu, so he would train for roughly around the same, maybe a little bit more, and he would of course plot his revenge. Most of the events go the exact same, except for one thing. You have Gohan. Now, Gohan here is insane. Gohan's never stopped his training, by the way. He has slowed down since Videl does have a kid, and the fact that, they have a child together, he has slowed down, but he hasn't slowed down to the point to where he's gotten rusty and he was useless. Gohan, even with slight training, can keep his power and potentially get even stronger. Well, Gohan has learned to really keep a balanced lifestyle of work and training, and of course spending time with family. So Gohan has kept his training up, doing a lot of mental training, pushing his power to new limits. Gohan's no slouch here. Gohan is incredibly powerful. Now, of course, Gohan would begin his battle, fighting the Frieza soldiers, and then he'd begin his fight with Frieza. Gohan here would actually be able to force Frieza to use his final form, and the two would actually have a really good battle. Gohan, I would say, is around the same power as Frieza in the Super Saiyan 2 state, potentially even more. Now, Gohan here does have some of Goku's higher potential, so even during the battle, as you guys know, just in general, a Saiyan gets stronger the more they fight. Now, of course, for Broly, that's just a million times higher, but Gohan's starting to adjust and get more powerful to Frieza, and Frieza would actually showcase his golden form, although not himself wanting to show it, saving it for Goku and Vegeta. Now, he would start beating down on Gohan here. Gohan doesn't have much of a choice, and he's getting tired of this, but then Goku and Vegeta would finally appear. Now, Vegeta wants to go first. Now, Goku, in this what if, I would say he would allow Vegeta to go first. Vegeta wants to test out this new power that he has. Vegeta, being a lot more powerful than the original, remember, he has to push himself to try and keep up with Goku and them having a bigger goal. Not to mention, when him and Goku fight all the time, Goku overpowers him and beats him. So when he's injured, really badly, he gets a new Zenkai every single time, so he's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, Vegeta would then go Super Saiyan God, and he would begin his battle with Frieza. Vegeta would actually do really well against Frieza here, even in Super Saiyan God. Vegeta would then showcase a form that he has been perfecting, but it's not there yet. He actually would show Frieza Super Saiyan Blue and tell him about it. He would show him a glimpse, he wouldn't fully transform into it, but Frieza would sense the power and actually kind of sweat and be a little bit afraid of it. But Vegeta states that form is powerful, but it kind of destroys your stamina. It's not a reliable form against the likes of you. So, I'm going to give you something that is terrifying. He would then charge up his Super Saiyan God power as flames would then surround the entire area, and he would look different. This version of Vegeta has unlocked Super Saiyan God Evolution. It's the same exact form as Blue Evolution, just in red, in Super Saiyan God version. And with the new sparkling aura, this Vegeta is many times more powerful than the original. We do know that Blue Evolution was a 20 times boost, so we can say that it's roughly 20 to 30 times like the original was, but this time it has no major stamina issue at all, and it's a great form to tap into for Vegeta. All while Blue and Blue Evolution does have a stamina quality problem. So Vegeta here can go all out and he'll be perfectly fine. Vegeta would begin his battle with Golden Frieza, and Golden Frieza and Vegeta would be kind of even, but Vegeta would be stronger than him, and definitely shows when Frieza's power will start dropping as he was being overpowered because of the stamina issue that the Golden form still has. During this time, Vegeta would then charge up a Big Bang attack to get rid of Frieza, And before Frieza can destroy the planet, Goku would realize what Frieza was about to do. He's seen that look in his eyes before. And he would actually grab Frieza's arms and stop him. And he would say, "You're not going to try and destroy the planet, Frieza. Vegeta now." Goku would then throw Frieza into the air as Vegeta would then smirk and fire a full power Big Bang attack. And this would completely obliterate Frieza. Frieza's revenge was finally over, and he failed, as he's now back in the depths of hell. Now he has to sit there and deal with the teddy bears and stuffed animals singing all day. Once it was over, Vegeta was kind of mad that Goku kind of interrupted his moment, but he was able to kill Frieza and fight him the entire time. He's happy enough. Goku was surprised that Frieza was able to get that strong. He kind of wanted to fight him, but he wanted to give Vegeta the respect and kind of have Vegeta have his moment. I'm just doing that for Vegeta. In real life, that would never happen. You know how Akira Toriyama is. Now, Beerus actually did show up, and he did watch the fight. It was pretty impressive. He was impressive that Frieza was able to get that strong in such a short time, but he's dead anyway, so he's useless now anyway. Now, most of the events would happen the same, with them going back to Beerus's and Whis' planet and training like usual. Although, a certain other fat purple cat would then arrive, wanting to challenge Beerus to a little tournament. We all know who it is. It's Lord Champa. What if Goku was a Legendary Super Saiyan Part 7? We last kicked off this series with Lord Champa arriving at Beerus' planet. Goku and Vegeta was doing the same exact weight training as the original, wearing those giant sumo-like suits. Now, from what we do know, is the fact that Champa did challenge Beerus to the fight for the Super Dragon Balls, as we all know, and they did kind of fight over food like the original. All that would actually happen the same. Goku was surprised to meet Champa, and the fact that he looks just like Beerus. And Whis does explain the other universes and how it works, and etc, etc. All that happens the same. Most of the leading up to getting all the members happens the same here. Of course, it'll be the same exact team as last time. The main fighters we're going to be focusing on, of course, is Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Beerus' little secret character that he got, Monaka. Now, you guys know Monaka is a fake character that Beerus kind of made, faking that he was like the strongest being in the entire universe that Beerus has ever fought. And Beerus did that to motivate Goku a little bit. It was a little gag character. And now, Goku would be happy to meet him, as he kind of does want to fight him really bad. But of course, Beerus says, "No, not right now, we gotta focus on the tournament." Now, it is the same exact fighters from the original, including Hit, Kaba, Vegeta, Botamo, and Frost. All those members are the exact same, nothing would change there. Now, a lot of the fighting would actually happen pretty much relatively the same, with Goku versus Botamo, then Goku fighting Frost. In terms of this what if though, when Frost does kind of drug Goku, it would still knock him out, he would get knocked out of the ring, but of course it was found of cheating. Now, this is when Piccolo, of course, would fight him, and he would lose, and that's when Jaco does actually notice that he has a needle, and this is when Vegeta finally gets his time to shine. Now, Vegeta would easily knock out Frost without much of an issue. Then we would then cut into also the Kaba fight as well, which we talked about, to where Vegeta meets with Kaba and he fights him. Pretty much that would happen the exact same with Vegeta showcasing Super Saiyan Blue as well, just to show him. Now, of course, the fight with Vegeta, that still happens the same as well, to cover that up too. Vegeta would have a more easier time handling him, since Vegeta is actually a little bit is stronger than the original Vegeta, so he can handle him, but roughly the same fight. Now, this is when Hit would show up. Now, Vegeta would actually still lose against Hit, but it would take a couple more blows to knock out Vegeta, and it wouldn't be such a one-sided fight. But, of course, Vegeta never seen that technique before, so Hit would be able to overpower him without him knowing. It would just be more durable and take longer to do so, but Vegeta would still lose. As Vegeta would, of course, show Super Saiyan God Evolution, and then he would then showcase Super Saiyan Blue to try and figure out Hit's movements. Hit was far too fast, and he doesn't know how it's working, but he's hitting his vital points, and Vegeta would be knocked out of the ring. Next would, of course, be Son Goku. He would land, and he would be excited to fight Hit. Hit's very powerful, and he can see that. Now, Goku would then go into base form first to begin their fight. As you guys know, this version of Goku is far stronger than the original. He would actually give Hit a pretty decent fight, but Goku needs to step it up against Hit, as he's starting to figure out his technique and how he's doing it. Remember, Goku's a prodigy. Even before the legendary Super Saiyan stuff, Goku was able to figure out techniques within multiple seconds. And on top of that, he's able to figure out and adapt during a fight, which is like he did in the original. Now, Goku would then showcase the Ikari state, then go into Super Saiyan 1, and he would mix Super Saiyan with the legendary Super Saiyan ability to make the green Super Saiyan form, bulking up a little bit, and then the real fun fight would begin here. Now, Hit would actually land a couple more blows on Goku, but Goku was purposely letting Hit him, quote, because he wants to learn this technique first, as he can't get a solid reading on it. But then, as Hit does a time skip once more, Goku would actually block the attack, and he would smirk. Now he figured out Hit's technique, and the real fight begins as Goku overpowers Hit very quickly. Now, as we know that Hit is extremely powerful with his techniques, but once when you figure out how to overpower that, Hit's kind of in some trouble, because he's an extremely powerful fighter, but not to the likes of Goku. And Hit does adapt and grow stronger, increasing his time frame to where he can time skip, but it will not be enough to catch up to Goku, as Goku, as he's fighting, his power level is increasing as he's fighting against Hit's, of course, well, raising adaptation as well. But Goku far superior to Hit, and Hit would then try his final movement on Goku, but it would not be enough, as Goku would then overpower Hit, knocking him out of the ring. Goku does not have Super Saiyan Blue, nor does Goku ever mix Kaioken, so Goku would not run out of stamina to beat Hit. And they're not so close in power to where Hit can soon overcome Goku. So Goku's potential is so high, and he's far superior to Hit at this point. He's hundreds of times stronger than his original self. Hit just has no chance of beating him at this current point in time. But Goku was really happy. Hit was extremely strong, and those techniques are crazy. Now Goku knows that Hit was holding back a little bit, as one of the rules was to not kill. But of course, Universe 7 has won. Now, as we do know, Beerus would still kind of wish for Champa's Earth to be brought back. That would happen the same. Now, this is when Goku would meet Zeno. And the exact same thing happens, to where he plays with Zeno and shakes him in the air and shakes their hand. And of course, everybody else was freaking out, especially the angels and the Kais, and mainly the gods of destruction too. But Zeno really likes Goku, and Zeno says, "You're super strong." And of course, they want to play with Goku again sometime. Now, they would all return home, and this is where some things are going to be changing. Now, what about the Goku Black arc? Well, we are actually going to cut into that right now. Now, future Trunks would still show up to in the future the exact same. And who would it actually be to actually become the version of Black? Who would Zamasu actually take over? Well, for what if purposes, and because I really like the character, remember Goku died because of the heart virus, but Zamasu does go to a different timeline. It's very iffy. But Zamasu does see that the Saiyan does have amazing potential, but the power that he holds is way too primalistic and beastly to control. So Zamasu doesn't really find that a fitting power, but he finds Vegeta, and Vegeta has number one, has God Ki. Goku doesn't have God Ki, even though it's true he's very powerful, but he does not possess God Ki or abilities, so Zamasu doesn't see that as willing. He also doesn't find it as kind of rude or mean or kind of disgracing the gods. But Vegeta, that's why Zamasu picked Goku, because Goku was stronger than Vegeta, and he also had God Ki, which Zamasu found perfect to kind of become the very thing that he hated. Well, he becomes Vegeta, who's a prideful Prince Saiyan who has kind of ruined the mortal ways and has kind of misused the god, so Zamasu would definitely pick him. Now, this would actually hit more home to Trunks, as it's his own father who Trunks thought is destroying everything. And of course, Vegeta would still kill Bulma, that happens the same. Trunks was able to make it back to the past. Now, during the current timeline, Goku would then meet up with him. All of the events would happen the exact same. Even the same battle that Vegeta Black would have with Goku. Now, actually, during this fight, it would actually be Vegeta that does want to go up and fight. He would tell Kakarot to step back, this is mine, just because of the fact that some fool is using his body, even though he doesn't know that yet. But to him, he's like, there's no way, the only person who's going to beat me is me. He doesn't want Kakarot to get the limelight again. So Vegeta would begin his battle using Super Saiyan 2. They'll pretty much be dead even like the original, but then Vegeta Black was then pulled back to the future timeline. Now, a lot of the events would happen the same, all up until they would finally go to the future to defeat Vegeta Black. During this battle, Very quickly, Vegeta obviously is going to go fight Vegeta Black by himself. He would then showcase Super Saiyan God, and Vegeta Black was amazed by the God power. He would begin to overpower Vegeta Black. Now Vegeta Black would then showcase Super Saiyan Rose. And it would be a very interesting battle until Vegeta is furious enough that he would then showcase Super Saiyan God Evolution, which Black has never seen before, and Vegeta would begin to overpower him. Now, by the way, we know that Rose is equivalent to Super Saiyan Blue, but Vegeta Black at this current point in time has not unlocked the full powers of his potential yet, so Vegeta with this 20 times power up can overpower him for a period of time, but we'll get there. Now the other Zamasu would still appear, and he's still immortal from the Super Dragon Balls. That happens the same, so Trunks and Goku, well mainly Goku, would go fight Zamasu, and Goku is easily handling Zamasu. Zamasu is strong, but he's like, he got kind of beat up a little bit by Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Super. This version of Goku is so much more powerful than the original. Zamasu doesn't have a chance. Now, of course, you can't kill a person that's immortal. You would have to completely destroy him, so Goku would kind of just hold him off, and Trunks would also tag in to fight as well. Now, this is when Vegeta Black starts learning and using anger in his battle power, and this is when he unlocks more power of the Rose. Now, during this time, he would then start to overpower Vegeta. Now, Vegeta here would then showcase Super Saiyan Blue, and they'll begin their battle once more, pretty much being dead even. Until Black would then showcase his little Demon Keyblade ability, and he would kind of stab Vegeta right in the stomach and severely injure him. Luckily though, Goku brought us Saiyan Senzu Beans. I don't know why they didn't do that in the original. They brought Senzu Beans with them, by the way. That's kind of like a crutch to bring every time. Now Trunks would get his father out of the way, as it was now Goku's turn. Now Goku was actually furious that Vegeta Black killed his best friend Vegeta and hurt Bulma, not to mention too killing her. Goku has had enough of this. Goku would then showcase the legendary Super Saiyan mixing with, of course, the normal Super Saiyan ability, kind of mixing the two together so he doesn't go full out, and he would then begin the battle. He would easily overpower Vegeta Black, as Goku here is far superior to it. Now, when Zamasu does team up and they fight fluently together, it is kind of a more even-ish fight, but Goku's still overpowering them, as they're commenting on how his battle power is rising significantly non-stop. Now, they would then run out of options as they don't know what else to do. They would then fuse into Merge Zamasu. Now, Merge Zamasu would actually start to overpower Goku, and he would actually get a sneak attack on Goku, surprising him and knocking him to the ground. Now, this is when Trunks and Vegeta, mainly Trunks, would actually have his moment to where he would transform into his, I guess you can say, Super Saiyan Rage, or the Rage Super Saiyan ability. And with the help of Vegeta using Super Saiyan Blue, him and Trunks would begin their fight with Zamasu, but they'll start to begin to falter. Now remember, the Supreme Kai was there with Gowasu. Now they would exclaim, oh wait, just use the Potara earrings, you guys can do fusion. Now remember, Goku and Vegeta doesn't know what fusion is. The Potara earrings, they've never used it before in their life. Vegeta would never fuse with Kakarot ever. Now, of course, Supreme Kai says, wait, Goku, just go into your full power Super Saiyan form. You can easily beat this guy. But Goku states, I don't want to do that because I'm having a hard time controlling it. I could do more damage than good. And I can't think straight in that form. But that might be the only option that they have. So, you would then have Vegeta and Goku. After a little bit of bickering back and forth, Goku states, if we don't do this, Vegeta, it's going to kill everything. And then he's going to go to the past and kill everybody else. You would want your precious Bulma and children to die. Now, of course, this would kind of get under Vegeta's skin, as Supreme Kai said, yes, they're only going to last about an hour, which I absolutely hate that they did that. The two would then fuse for the first time, becoming Vegito. This is what we've all been waiting for. Now, there is something different here. Would they be able to turn Super Saiyan God or Blue, or would they turn into a legendary Super Saiyan? As you know, they're both completely different. Well, they're actually going to be mixed, as Vegeta would then smirk and mix the powers of Super Saiyan Blue with the powers of the legendary form, as this is possible, and it would be a bluish-green color, as he would bulk up a little bit, and his power level was absolutely astounding. Vegeta was already incredibly strong, not to mention you have Goku on your side, with legendary Super Saiyan power, and the powers of a god. with their rival boosting the earrings as well, this Vegito is beyond stronger than the original one. He would easily overpower Zamasu, and Zamasu started mutating. But as we all know, plot kicked in, and the fusion would then completely turn off. Now, what are they going to do against Zamasu here as, well, Zamasu's, like, immortal. What are they going to do? The fusion defused. They don't really know what to do. Trunks would then somehow learn the spirit bomb and put it into his sword and kill Zamasu the same exact way like the original. But as we know, Zamasu wasn't truly dead. As he was now surrounding the universe as kind of like a void of Zamasu's, Goku still has the Zeno button from the original. So he would then summon Zeno and completely, well, kind of tell Zeno, hey, that's a bad guy, destroy it. Zeno would completely destroy the future timeline. Oh, I guess you say all of Universe 7, really. And of course, that's all finished. The Goku Black Arc is now done. They return home. Trunks was able to get the time machine fixed, and he would return to a different timeline, but the same kind. Now, of course, Goku and Vegeta. Goku would then smile at Vegeta, saying, hey, that was actually fun fusing. Vegeta hated every second of it, but he does commend that that was a powerful ability that they never knew that they could do before. They didn't know that the earrings could fuse two beings into that. At least it was for a short time. Now, of course, time would go on very peacefully until later on. We last kicked off with Goku finishing the Universe 6 saga, and we also covered over the Goku Black saga, or the Black Vegeta saga, since we had to change it. Now, a lot of the events would happen the exact same with the mini arcs and etc., but I think we all know where we want to go. The Tournament of Power. That's the big one. Most of the events would happen the same, with obviously Goku was obviously still offering the idea as he played with Zeno, and Zeno still wanted to have the Tournament of Power. Now, going to there, most of the events would happen the same, with the Grand Priest, of course, explaining all the rules, which is the exact same, but now was the teammates. Well, we of course have Goku, Vegeta, Master Roshi, Tien, Krillin, Android 18, and... just kidding. There's no Android 18 or 17, sadly. I wish I could have brought them in, but sadly, that's not happening. But what we do have, though, is what about Majin Buu? Well, there's no Majin Buu either. So teams are actually a little bit tight right now. There's not that many people. You only have Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Tien, Krillin, Master Roshi. I mean, who else could you bring in? Oh, wait a minute. Goten and Trunks. I don't know why they never brought Goten and Trunks in there, as they're pretty strong in their own right. So that's two more. Not to mention, Goten and Trunks can actually do fusion. As of course, how can they do fusion? Plot reasons. I do feel like they could do fusion if Goku would have learned it, but at the same time, Goku never taught them. But I just love Gotenks so much that I think you guys can understand the little plot hole to just add Gotenks in there, just because it'll be so cool to see that. So now we have a total of 8 people. Would Goku go get Frieza? Yes, he would. Why? Because it is true that Frieza's evil, no one likes him, but Goku will still have the idea that Frieza is very powerful, and he'll be a perfect asset. So he would go to the other world, aka Hell, and he would pick up Frieza, do the deal with Baba, and let Frieza be alive for 24 hours, which is plenty of time to allow them to go fight. Now, before all these events happen, the first major fight that we have is the little matches that they had against Toppo and the other wolves as well. So how would Goku do in that scenario? We know that also Gohan fought them as well, and Gohan was poisoned by the yellow one, the yellow wolf, or fox, if you might say. And Goku had 2 great fights against Toppo and the other guy. Well, Majin Buu's not there, so Mr. Hercule's not there. Well, Goku here is far more powerful than the original, and Gohan is far more powerful as well. I do feel like Gohan could overpower the poisonous fox who was trying to attack him. I kind of forgot the name. Gohan would definitely overpower him, as he's far more powerful than he was before. Gohan has still kept his training up. As for Goku, Goku here would then showcase a lot of his power off to Toppo, showcasing his legendary Super Saiyan form, but of course he's holding back, so it's not like the full gas mode, so he's not going berserk, and it shocked everybody at the power. As Belmont was even a little bit nervous because, I mean, the only being that can maybe rival that power is Jiren in his head. But that mortal has that much raw power? He's never seen that before, ever. Beerus was very confident rolling in there, as he has Goku, Vegeta's very powerful, Gohan's very powerful, and you have Frieza, who he hates, but Frieza's powerful in his own right, and the other Earthlings are pretty powerful as well. So Beerus was definitely extremely confident within himself that he's going to win this. Now, once when the tournament does start, a lot of the fighting would happen the exact same, with Goku and the others of course holding back a lot so they can conserve their energy, as there's 100 other people in there, so obviously they don't want to completely go full gas out in the beginning. Now, Goku would fight Caulifla and them, obviously just testing each other out. Caulifla was very interested in Goku because he's insanely powerful and he's a Saiyan too, so she wants to figure out how to get strong for herself. Now, Kaba as well has learned Super Saiyan. Caulifla has learned Super Saiyan as well on her own right. That still happens the same, which I hate how she learned it. Kaba at least had some rage to be able to do it, which is fine. But for Caulifla and them to do it makes no sense. What would actually surprise Goku is when Kale would actually lose control and go into her Berserker Saiyan state, or you can say her own version of Legendary Super Saiyan. Goku was surprised that in the other universe there's another Saiyan that was just like her, that had that green rage form. That actually made Goku a little bit excited, as he knows the potential that they have. Goku would actually surprise Kale by showcasing his legendary form as well. Now, Goku can control himself a lot more in his legendary Super Saiyan form, as with so many years of learning and meditating and its son Goku, he can have the ability, the mental capacity to be able to overcome this flaw to a degree. Now, of course, he would try to surprise Kale that he was just like her, but Goku would actually knock her out of the ring, as Goku used a little bit too much power, and she was knocked out. Now, Caulifla was furious, but they backed off as Hit told him so. A lot of the fighting would happen the exact same, with Frieza going around killing everybody, Gohan being basically like the team leader, trying to lead everybody around, the Earthlings and such. Now, the big fight, we've all been waiting for. Belmod knows that Goku's the biggest threat for this whole tournament. If they can get rid of Goku, then Jiren can handle everybody else. There's no other problem. So he tells Jiren to go fight that Saiyan son Goku, and get him out of the ring now. Don't hold back against him. Jiren, of course, has understood. And now Jiren will begin his face-off with Goku. Now, Goku knows that Jiren is different from the rest. His power is odd. It's almost like a grain of sand in a massive thing of the ocean, if that makes sense. Or you're like a boat to the ocean. He has a whole depth of power that Goku's never seen before. And he is very excited. He also knows of a mortal that has surpassed the god of destruction. And that could be Jiren, but he doesn't know yet. But he's excited. A lot of the beginning fight would happen the same. With Goku being base form, trying to land some blows on Jiren, Jiren would barely move. Jiren would have to use his finger to block. Now then Goku would showcase his Akari state, which then Jiren would then use a finger to block his attack. Now then, Goku would then power up to Super Saiyan, and Jiren would then have to use two hands, and the two would begin their fight. Now, Goku would be able to knock Jiren back a little bit, and the two would begin to start trading blows. Now, Beerus is wondering, why is the Saiyan not going full out right now? Why doesn't he just go full power and end him? As Krillin states, because he's a martial artist. He wants to gauge his power level and see where he's at so he can counterattack it. He's building up his power against him to see how high he can go. So Goku in Super Saiyan knows that this won't be enough, as Jiren still has not shown any expression yet. Goku states, this isn't enough for you, isn't it? But now then, Goku would then transform into the half Super Saiyan level, to where he is like a green Super Saiyan, but he's not full power yet. He's getting there. Now this is when Jiren does show some expression, and the two would begin their battle. Now Jiren is stronger than Goku in this case, but the thing is, Goku's power level is constantly rising, and Goku's getting stronger and stronger as the fight goes on. Jiren is starting to get a little bit overwhelmed here, as he's having to showcase more and more of his power, as he was shocked that this Saiyan has no limit to his growth, and it's rising like a rocket. Now Belmod was shocked at the Saiyan's raw ability to get that powerful. As everybody was watching, Goku would then have no other choice and give Jiren everything he has. He would then scream and go into his legendary Super Saiyan form. And he would then attack Jiren full force. Now the two would be trading blows back and forth, as it would be an insane battle. Goku was beginning to starting to overpower Jiren. The two was near equal, as Jiren was using his full power. Now, as contestants, even from the blows of the attack and the beams, they were looting off and knocking off people who were just a lower level. A lot of people were getting knocked off, not just from them, but it was from the effects of their fight. Zeno was, of course, having an absolute blast seeing this. The Grand Priest was very impressed by these two power. Beerus was then smirking about it, as he knows that Son Goku will just keep on rising and rising and rising. But now, this is when something changes. Goku changes. Something's happening to him. Whis is noticing it. Has Goku learned to fully master his form? To fully master his ability, to master this primal rage that is within him, and find something deeper within him. And yes, Goku has done it, as Goku would then have a new type of aura, and he has pupils now, not having just bland pupils, and he's slimmed down a little bit, but he's still massively bulky, and his hair is a little bit more of a lighter green. Goku was able to mix God Ki with the primal rage of the Super Saiyan power. Now that his mind is more calm, but controlling, as he tempers the rage to help him, this Goku has learned the ability to perfect this legendary Super Saiyan power, to where he's not just some mindless brute, he's a different level of being. This version of Goku is insanely powerful. He's actually kind of scared about how strong he's gotten. He doesn't even know. Now, Goku would then look at Jiren, and within a few blows, he would knock Jiren right into a mountainside. Now, Jiren was bleeding. He was badly injured by those multiple attacks. He doesn't know what this Saiyan is and what he's done, but there's no way that he's going to lose this battle. Jiren would then scream as he would then go into his full power state, or limit breaker if you want. Now, post in your comments down below, what would you call this new form of Goku? You can also see it in the thumbnail, that this version of Goku has pupils, but he was able to mix God Ki with Legendary Super Saiyan. I guess you can call it the Legendary Super Saiyan God, if you want to call it that. But post your comments down below, a good name for this custom form, and I definitely want to see it. Now, Jiren would then showcase the limit breaking form, and Goku was kind of surprised that he had this power trapped within him. The two would begin their battle, as it was almost dead even at the beginning. But then Goku would then smile as the two was trading blows, and he would state, Jiren, my power is just not stopping, it's continuing to grow. As that's how the power works, it continues to overpower the next foe. Goku would then showcase more of his potential, and he would begin to overpower Jiren. Jiren has nothing else that he can do. The Saiyan continues to grow at an alarming rate. He's running out of options here. As then Goku would be able to knock him down, Toppo and Dispo would then try to jump in to tag team Goku to help their comrade in some way, but it was not enough as Goku would easily block the two attacks. Gohan would actually attack Dispo, and Vegeta would then fly in and kick Toppo away, as they're saying, you're fighting me, you're not worrying about him. Now Goku would then charge up a full power Kamehameha, and he would blast it full force, hitting Jiren full on, knocking him out of the ring. Jiren, the strongest being in Universe 11, has now been defeated. A lot of the fighting would go the same, as Goku was a little bit tired from that battle, but he knows that he can continue going on, so he's going to help out where he can, but he's satisfied. He knows that the other guys can take down any other foe that they face against. As that would exactly happen. Frieza's stronger here than the original. He's trained harder. Frieza can take down pretty much any threat in his way. The only other big, strong bad guy would definitely be Toppo, but remember, you have Vegeta. Now, Vegeta here would showcase Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, as he did have Super Saiyan God Evolution. I think he can easily do the same thing for Blue, figuring it out over time, and pushing his power to new heights. He's very excited. As Vegeta is far stronger than the original, he does not need to blow himself up to beat Toppo. He would just need to use a full power Final Flash, pouring most of his power into it to overpower the God Obstruction candidate. Now with Dispo here, Gohan is far stronger than the original. As I said, Gohan would be able to overpower Dispo. Sadly, Gohan is just too fast for him. Now would Frieza help out? Not really, but Goku was satisfied. Now Goku would then actually begin his fight with Universe 6, as he would actually fight, of course, Caulifla, and then Hit, both tag teaming on Goku. Now Goku would actually have a pretty tough battle because he's tired from fighting Jiren, especially since Hit is no pushover either. But Goku, with his legendary power, mixing with Gaki, I feel like he would be able to push hit and be able to get help and knock him out. Now, Master Roshi, I know it sounds crazy, would actually help out Goku, having, of course, the Master and the student working together to fight. Master Roshi would actually take on Khalifa, and I know you guys are thinking, she would easily beat Master Roshi, which is true, but Master Roshi is a martial arts master. In the manga, he was able to dodge the likes of Jiren for a short period of time because he's so gifted and he knows the movements. Khalifa is just a simple brawler. Master Roshi, even with beings more powerful than him, he can figure out your fighting style and know what you're going to do next. And Master Roshi would do just that. Master Roshi would definitely have his time to shine, as he would definitely be able to dodge most of her attacks pretty easily, as he's way too smart for her. Now, Master Roshi would use a few of his techniques that he knows, and they would stagger her a little bit, but it wouldn't defeat her, it just makes her more angry. Now, Master Roshi would then fire full power Kamehameha, but she would tank the attack, maybe having a couple scratches on her, but she was perfectly fine. Now, she does respect why this is Goku's master, he's very powerful for his old age. Now, she would be pushed, as remember, Goku would be handling Hit, and I do feel like Goku would then get the jump on him. Even if Hit used his time lock ability to trap Goku in the time, I feel like Goku pushing himself once more into his legendary Super Saiyan mode, just like Jiren, he would be able to overpower it and knock Hit off. Now, Master Roshi would actually be knocked out by Khalifa, as she would unlock Super Saiyan 2, somehow, as she did in the original, making no sense. She would be able to knock him off, but Master Roshi was satisfied. He did very well, and he was able to give Goku the time he needs to fight Hit and to recover a little bit, as then Goku would handle her. Now, Vegeta has already fought Kaba, and he was able to push Kaba to unlock Super Saiyan 2, and Kaba would then be knocked off the ring respectfully. Now, with Khalifa, she would then be knocked off as well, as the other Namekians would be knocked off too, so sadly, Universe 6 is gone. Now, the final people who would actually be left, realistically, is the likes of Toppo, Dispo, and the other. Mainly Universe 11 is the last one standing. But Universe 11 has no chance against them, they're far too powerful, and they would be defeated. Goku was completely exhausted from the battle, and of course, they would then make their wish. Now, Goku would then, of course, wish for everybody to be brought back from the other universes, as Goku's kind of like the leader. But even if you say Gohan, since he's the team leader, he would make the same wish his father would make, or Android 17, wish for all the other universes back. Now, as a gift, Beerus, I think, would still kind of bring back Frieza, as kind of like a gift for helping out, and Frieza would then be sent off. Now, the Tournament of Power has finally ended. Goku was satisfied. That was the most fun he's had in a very long time other than fighting Beerus. Now we're going to cut into the Broly arc, which would still happen. A lot of people wonder, why is there a Broly of Goku still in the legendary Super Saiyan? I just really love Broly as a character, and what's wrong with being a what if and having Broly there? Why not, right? Why not have two legendary Super Saiyans? Which would be very interesting. And also feels like it'll be a deeper connection because Goku can relate to him. He's been there before. Most of the events would happen the same, up until Goku meets Broly, and the two begin their battle. Broly would then unlock the Ikari state, and be pushed to unlock Super Saiyan. Now, Goku would then turn Super Saiyan as well, as both would then turn legendary Super Saiyan, as Goku would defeat Broly in this, as Broly is stronger, but he's pretty much the same power as before, and Goku's far superior to him. He would overpower Broly and defeat him, but of course not wanting to kill. Now, of course, with Frieza here, Frieza's not going nowhere, as Vegeta has some unfinished business with Frieza. Now, of course, he would begin his battle with Frieza, having a Vegeta vs. Frieza battle, even with Golden form. Vegeta would then go Blue Evolution. I know he didn't do it in the movie, but still. Blue Evolution, even if he went Super Saiyan Blue, he's far stronger than Frieza, as he's trained more, he's more powerful than the original. He would easily overpower Frieza. Now, Vegeta would actually kill him. He's not letting Frieza go, as he's bringing all this trouble in with the Dragon Balls. He would use a full power Final Flash and completely annihilate Frieza. That means no Black Frieza, sadly. Maybe one day we'll get Black Frieza again. Now, jumping into the moral arc, Broly would be, of course, saved. All that would happen the same. But if we do jump into the superhero movie, since I guess it is kind of canon, the superhero movie would happen the exact same, nothing different. The only difference here is that Gohan would, you could say that Gohan and Piccolo are stronger, but they would get their power the same way. Gohan would unlock Beast Mode, and Piccolo would unlock his potential Unleash, and also Orange Piccolo. All that happens the same, and Cell Max is defeated. Now cutting into the Moro arc, that would pretty much happen the same, but just that the Z fighters are a lot more stronger, and also Goku fighting Moro would be very interesting, but Goku would still end up defeating him pretty much the same way. Not to mention, he's also getting training from mirrors from an angel, so he can push his god abilities even further than before, which is very impressive. So he is able to knock out Moro and kind of end him. Now, if we do cut into the Granola arc would actually be very interesting. Granola would actually wish to become the most powerful mortal in Universe 7. Well, okay, but the problem is since Goku and Vegeta are so powerful, Granola would only have a little bit of time to surpass. As you guys know, Gas made the same wish, and he basically killed himself within one fight. And it would be the same thing for Granola. Granola would actually kill himself within one fight, pushing himself as he would then age rapidly and kill himself fighting Goku and Vegeta. Now Vegeta here does have Ultra Ego, that happens the same. Goku would still have his legendary Super Saiyan God form. Now Vegeta was able to catch up to Goku a little bit with Ultra Ego, and Ultra Ego is insanely powerful, but not perfect yet, as he still has the damage issue that he has to worry about. Now, in terms of Gas fighting Goku and Vegeta, Gas would die even faster, because way faster, since he has to wish to become the strongest while Granola is still fighting them. Yeah. So, it would be a really short fight, as Gas would easily overpower them, but Gas would still lose. So sadly, the Gas and Granola arc is done. Now, whatever arc shall be next, we don't know. We shall see. But anyway, thank you guys so much for this series. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all for the support. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers, and I will talk to you all later.